Hey,
I'm
like
the
my
star
favorite mid-carder.
I'm the star that left them in the dust. Ooh, the grandson of a plumber.
But you might be the
American
illegitimate grandson of a plumber.
Sir, let's not do that. We just started. We just
a twist in the story.
Right?
All right.
We just started.
I know we did. What's going on, y'all? How y'all doing? This is the Pay Window Podcast. It's your boy Vernon.
Stop. You did great. You did great, sir. You did great, but you forgot one thing.
Plug the sponsor.
Come on, man. I gotta get it, and you forgot to touch tips with me. That's the other thing.
See, as long as you know what it is and you call it out, I'm fine with it. Go ahead.
All right. You got you got it. You start over. You just gotta add the Sandbox Podcast Network. Go ahead.
There we go. All right.
Try again. 3, 2, 1. You're on.
Yo, what's going on? It's your boy Vernon Somoza here with the Pay Window Podcast, Indie Manager, Pay Window Podcast here with Sandbox Productions.
Damn.
Cut
that.
Come on. You put me on the spot.
All right, I got it. What's going on, y'all?
Right.
What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Frank Champion, busting through the curtain with your boy Vernon Somoza. Oh, you like how I did that, right?
This guy.
Somoza. We are the Pay Window Podcast on the... Oh, my God. I almost blew it. On the Sandbox Podcast Network. TSPN. What is going on, everybody? It is episode numero 8. You see what I did my bilingual.
Yeah, man. Wow, that was painful. Y'all, this is live and in person. That was painful as heck.
Painful.
I don't even know if anyone's going to listen to this, but man, wow, we went back and forth on that. And woof, shout out to the Sandbox Podcast Network for hosting us, for having us on, for giving us a platform to speak on, to share, to talk about the things in professional wrestling that need to get talked about because, man, we're just two fans who are happy to discuss some pro wrestling, two friends, two wrestlers.
Wait. So you said that was terrible?
What do you mean?
That wasn't good? That wasn't good?
What wasn't good?
What we did right there wasn't good? That's not what you were just talking about?
The banter we just had right there that you cut me off as I was getting to somewhere good with my banter.
That was horrible?
What part? Well, the part where at the beginning where I forgot the name of the podcast and I'm like, and I totally froze.
But my part was good, right? My part was good.
Hey, your part was fine. I mean,
fine.
You've done better. What do you listen? Oh, okay. You know what?
Was it good? Good match? Good match, brother?
Good match, brother.
Thanks.
Brother, I could hear them. I could hear them out there. They were hanging from the rafters.
Thank you. You didn't watch it, but you heard it.
Good. I didn't watch it.
Do you know how many times
I was putting my boots on and I was out back having a cigarette, but no, brother, I could tell I could tell about the screams.
The amount of times. But I'm genuine when I say that though. I'm like, I didn't see it. I didn't watch it, but I was listening. I heard it and it sounded okay. It sounded good. That's what I tell people. I don't go, I didn't see the match.
How many people look at you and go, you heard it?
Of course you can hear it. Are you not out there listening to the fans?
Sure, but my response back would be like, but that's what you're going to base my performance on, sir? Is what you heard me do? Not if I was out there and had my thumb in my bum the entire time, and that's what they were screaming. For?
Like, yeah, he's going further.
Yeah, and you're just like, good job, kid. Good job, kid. Keep doing it. Keep doing it.
Stick your thumb in your butt. Listen,
man, the business.
When I say it, I genuinely mean it. It's better than me going, good match, and I didn't see a single lick of it. I did not see a single lick of it. Do you remember that Ric Flair story? I forgot what worker said it. How they idolized Ric Flair. Idolized Ric Flair. Let me move I don't have my popper stopper on today. Damn, that's fine. Whatever. We're doing it live. We're doing it raw today. No protection. What? Did I say something wrong?
See, you're being intentionally edgy, and I'm gonna no sell you, sir.
Double good, fed bad. Moving on. So this worker idolized Ric Flair ever since he was a kid. Idolized him. Finally got to do a show with him. Somehow. Somewhere. I don't remember who it was, but I've heard the story before, and it always stuck with me to be like, don't care about what people think. Worry about the people that matter. That's what I should say. Worry about the people that matter to you. Okay. So this guy goes out there, puts on, and before he goes on and puts on his match, he goes, "Hey, Rick, if you get a chance, can you please watch my match? I'd really mean the most to me for you to watch my match and give me some critiques." You know, guys ask that to some
Typical
of the
thing, yeah.
Right, to the stars coming in. Okay, Ric Flair's okay, kid, I'll watch your match. So he goes out there, he has his match. Comes to the back, goes to find Rick, and he goes, "Did you get to see the match?" Rick's like, "Oh yeah, fantastic, great match. I loved it. Everything about it was great match." Dude was a little skeptical about that answer because he had some parts he felt like that he messed up on in his head already. So he goes, I don't remember the exact move or something like that, but he says, he goes, "Did you?" I'm just gonna something ridiculous to show you that he wasn't paying attention. Did you see that Canadian Destroyer in there? What did you think of that? It wasn't a Canadian Destroyer. It was just a move that he named. I'm just using Canadian Destroyer as a move. Flair was just like, "Oh yeah, it looked great in the match. It looked good in there. You had it at the right time, blah, 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 all that good stuff." Never did the move in the match that he asked Flair about. So he tested Flair, and Flair failed. Sure. So it's kind of like,
I don't know this story. Yeah,
I heard it. I can't remember where I heard it. It was a minute ago where I heard it. I can never remember who the person was, but it stuck with me because it's like, okay, it's good to want to hear from your idols or the people that you
look up to.
Thank you. But some people just don't even care. They don't care to that point where it's like, you know what? If he doesn't, screw it, whatever, move on to the next person that will give you critique.
Sure. So. But I also think it speaks to the fact that just because there's someone who excels at this thing that we love or the thing that you love, right? Not even just wrestling, but the thing you love, doesn't mean that they're necessarily great teachers of it or necessarily fans of it, that they're necessarily like, up until as far as we know, the rumors always were of Brock Lesnar.
Right.
Just wants to get the bag.
The payday.
Doesn't care much for the business itself.
Yep.
As of today, it's a different Brock.
Right.
But you could argue there was a point in the history where it was just a job. It was just him trying to get the bag. There was no
trying to get that paycheck. Right.
So I think that there has to be something said about there's some people who, no matter how good they are at it, they can't teach it. They don't know how to tell you to do it, but they know how to do it. Jim Cornette talks about Bobby Eaton. Bobby Eaton's punch and his knee drop, that he would jump off the top rope, drop a knee, you'd never feel it.
Right.
He said he could do it.
Could teach it.
He could tell you how he did it in the sense that he'd be like, "Well, I just kind of tuck my knee and jump. That's it." He couldn't give you the mechanics of it.
But he couldn't break it down little by little.
Correct.
I'm over here trying to get my.
He knew how to do it. He could do it. He could tell you where it belongs. Didn't know why it belongs, but he just knew it, right? That they were naturally gifted for it. And Flair, I think you could argue Flair's one of those people. I mean, just in that story, you're saying the concept of that story, like Flair, like that to me, that fits who Flair is. That fits him. Is that he just said, "Oh yeah, good guy. Oh yeah,
I'm sure Flair's been around wrestling for how long? He probably did not give two whats about what was going on that show. He was there for that payday. He got his payday, and he was gone. Somebody that idolized him doesn't look at him the same anymore because of it, but that's no skin off of Flair's back, so it's whatever. So, it is what it is. But, we're here to talk about wrestling.
And talking about no skin off their back, what better segue than to talk about Mr. MJF and all the things that he has been going through, things he has been suffering, depending who you're talking to now. Because some would say he is suffering and others would claim that he is just being a big baby. As we had talked about, I think, 2 weeks ago now? 2, 3. I feel like I sounded like Keith Lee right there. As we had a chance to say a few weeks ago, friend, you and I had a conversation where we sauntered back and forth and we volleyed with the different opinions and thoughts concerning the likes of Mr. Not Keith Lee. Who was I talking about originally? Lost the thought.
Maxwell
Jacob Friedman. Thank you.
In our glory. Yes. Even though I did say, listen, before we go, I think I said it on record that I said Keith Lee's a good talker. Then wasn't I on that boat? I was on that boat.
I think you were when I was like, I said sell. And you're like, no, buy.
Man, as the weeks have gone along, sheesh. Throw me a lifesaver. I need to get off this boat immediately. Because Ooh, it's rough. This promo tonight. Oh boy, here you go. Go ahead, straighten up your tie, sir.
I mean, I just want to say that, you know, as a guy who watches a little wrestling, just a little wrestling here and there,
just a little bit
wrestling. Glad to hear that I might have been right on one opinion. Man, now what about that good old Willie Hobbs? I'm gonna turn you.
God, not yet.
Turn you one of these days. I'm gonna turn you one of these days. You are gonna be a Willie Hobbs fan one of these days, and I'm gonna say, finally,
listen,
I'm right on Willie Hobbs the way I was right about Keith Lee. I'm right.
I want to go on record about something with Will Hobbs. You got to give me something. Okay. If I finally say, all right, that Will Hobbs is talented, and I think he's gonna go play.
He's got something. You deny it, but the kids.
Hold on. If I want to put this on record. I want to say, so if I finally say that at whatever point I say that in time during this podcast, I will come on here and I will say, Vern, you were right. What I'm trying to think of something you can do that, you know, as almost like a punishment for me doubting him for all this time.
So of course, you have to buy the shirt. You have to wear the shirt on camera.
Wait, what shirt?
Oh, we'll have to pick one out, but we'll have to look at what. Let's go to this Pro Wrestling Tees store.
I'm about to go to. Should I go to shopaew.com?
Whatever. Yes, I hope he has a Danhausen shirt or something.
Oh God,
some shirt on his website. You got to buy it and wear it. Though that's the punishment. You got to wear his shirt.
God.
Support this. You got to put money in his pocket for doubting him. And wear his shirt. And give him a shout out on our podcast.
Here he is. It took me that roster is ridiculous. He's got 3 shirts. All right, I'm gonna share the screen. He's got 3 shirts right now.
Do that.
Listen, he's not over. He's not over right now.
That.
I'm sorry because CM Punk, he's got a little keychain. He's got a T-shirt.
You can't compare the Coke, man. Stop it.
I'm trolling.
Pepsi, man. Exactly. How many shirts you got? He really has 3 shirts?
Hobbs really has 3 shirts. This one is probably the nicest one. Oh, come on with all this loading. This is probably the nicest one. I break backs, but I feel like I've never heard him say that.
It's a little sus, though. It's a little weird.
I could just say I clap cheeks.
I mean, I feel like it's a little bit more subtle than I break backs. I clap cheeks is way more subtle than I break backs.
This one here with his curled lip.
I kind of feel like that may be the shirt that you have to wear of a grown man just lip curling on your shirt, your chest while you're talking to me. Okay. I gotta see what his lip curl.
I'm gonna sit back like this the whole
time.
Just
right there. Well, I mean, you don't have to sit there like that necessarily.
Yeah, that don't look right. If I'm
exactly, you're just like I was like,
it's the invitation. It's the invitation.
Correct.
All right, so boom, on the record, Vern, on the record. If I ever, at any point in time in this podcast, say that Powerhouse, you were right, Vern, Powerhouse Will Hobbs is exactly what you said he is, I will say that.
This kid has a promise. This kid's got talent, and he's going places.
I will say it.
I will say that I think that AEW booking doesn't help this kid, but
no,
he's got something.
No, all right, they got my size. All right, just checking to see if they got my size.
I can't wait to see you in that shirt with that grown man on your chest.
mean, I can't wait either. I mean, I'll never wear it because Powerhouse is 9 inches. That's all I'm saying. All right. Speaking of AEW, I think we're gonna be talking about AEW
MJF.
tonight.
Let's talk about MJF. Yeah,
because
we got a lot of MJF together.
They had Double or Nothing. This past weekend.
We should call it Quadruple or Nothing,
dude. Ridiculously long, but we'll get into that.
Yeah,
a part of the whole entire Double or Nothing weekend, if you call it. There was a fan
extravaganza
fest where I think AEW does that at the Big Four. At the Big Four.
So original.
The only 4. I feel like it's the only 4 though, but whatever. There was a fan fest, autograph signing, and MJF reportedly, allegedly, no-showed. And I'm saying that for a reason. And I'm sure you'll get to put the bow on this at the end with all that at the end. He no-showed the fan fest, and it was big news because we've been talking about it for weeks back with the Sasha and Naomi walkout, that MJF is upset that he does not get as paid as good as the guys that are coming in from the E. That was his big gripe, right?
Yep.
And there was some report about, well, he won't get more money unless he signs an extension, which that's how contracts work. But there was countless news articles about that. We saw it all weekend, Vern. It was Memorial Day weekend. We saw it all weekend.
And MJF clouded the news streams.
Mm-hmm. I feel like no talking about Naomi and Sasha no more. This was it. This was it right here. So he no-showed the Fan Fest. Then reports started coming out from your boy. Oh, let me point at you. From your boy, Mr. SRS, saying that there was a plane ticket purchased for MJF for him to leave Las Vegas.
And in context, he was the first and the only person to report that, and everyone else repeated him. And as would come out later on, he himself would refute his own comment, which is insane considering he makes the comment and then he further on says he debunks himself, which is nuts. And the fact that he never sees the irony half the time when he does it to himself is just mind-blowing to me. But I digress.
I mean that's one of the problems with wrestling journalism, if you want to call it that. It's just people spreading rumors. And now that we have, because remember how we used to get it before, bro? It was in a newsletter. I had my AOL email. I was in my AOL email. I got results for Raw. I got results for Nitro, ratings, rumors, and all that. I used to get all that. So, you know what I'm saying? It's like nowadays it's just Twitter. It's Twitter. It's a blog, and you can just instantly spread news. One person says one thing.
Yeah,
it's everywhere. So
and it repeats itself. And that's the scary part, is that all it takes is one person to make the story, and if it seems credible enough,
repost. Let me put my spin on it. I'm a blogger. Put my spin on it.
Everybody who repeats it's like, oh yeah. No, we all heard it from the same source. We're all just quoting the same exact source.
Quote this guy. It's like, okay, but yeah, we heard about the plane ticket. And then MJF came out, match number 1 at Double or Nothing, did the business for Wardlow. It was built up. Probably one of the better stories. I'm going to take it away from that. Probably one of the better stories for AEW leading into Double or Nothing was the MJF Wardlow. They did the lashes. He was handcuffed. He wasn't really contracted to AEW. He was contracted to MJF, so you have to listen to him and all that good stuff. It was... what's the word I want to use? Not typical, but like I can't think of the word, but it was an MJF story.
Well, they built a star. The truth is they built a star. Wardlow is a star.
Wardlow's a star now. I don't know if you saw his match. He worked JD Drake tonight.
I mean, and the Wardlow has the potential to be a star.
Right. They all right. So what you're saying is they put him in the right position.
In the right position. They gave him the right beginning. He has now the proper origin story.
Yes.
To be a star.
Right.
He has the proper origin story. They built him up. They built the monster.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I 100% agree.
100%, right? The only thing that matters here next is who his opponent will be. Who's going to be the person across the ring that's going to draw out what you need, because you can have the big bad ass kicker, but where's the Hollywood Hogan he's chasing?
Right.
Because there was a Hollywood Hogan we all were salivating for. One day Goldberg's gonna take on Hogan. He's gonna whoop his ass, and Hogan's gonna finally get what's coming to him.
Right.
Because it never seemed like Goldberg cared about Hogan. Then one day Goldberg just hit you with that, "You're next, Hollywood Hogan," and it was like, whoa.
Yeah.
The unstoppable monster's gonna finally fight the guy we thought was, because they never ever interacted whatsoever.
Right
now,
Wardlow is in the right position. So let me put that back. Match. We'll talk about it later, but it was a glorified squash. MJF went in there and did the business, which is what's perfect, what's expected of a contracted heel.
He did, and those power bombs are painful.
Oh, some of those he kind of like bumped elbows.
Ooh, yo,
I was trying to protect himself.
Yes, some of those were just elbow first the whole way.
But that's worse. Trust me. But I train. It's worse. The best way is on your back. I understand. I mean, look at how Bobby Lashley started bumping for Brock. We talked about that too. After a few of them, it's like, okay. And he had to take 10. He took 10 power bombs, and it was a done deal. So, so he did the business there. As you can see here, I keep popping it up. Great spot. I wish I had a picture of it. It was when they did the ring spot. Again, we'll talk about that later. But yeah, went over.
Good piece of business.
He got stretchered out, right?
Immediately
stretchered out of the building.
Immediately. Get him on the stretcher. Got to get him out of there. Like,
so reports then came out that he walked out immediately after Double or Nothing.
Talk to anybody, just took his bags, and he was gone.
And
then the rumor came out, would he show up tonight on Wednesday? Spoiler alert, yes, he did.
Showed up.
Yes, he did.
And I don't know if you're ready for this, but you know what? I think I've cracked the code.
Tell me.
Copyright claim code of YouTube and AEW. So
okay.
I'm gonna pop this link up real quick.
Okay.
Oh, I already have it up. Boom, even better. So here's my thought.
Okay.
See if I can do this. I'm going to keep it Twitter. Okay. I've got the promo from Twitter. I'm not going to full screen it. You're still gonna see the tweet.
Okay.
Okay. But I'm gonna let it play. All right.
Okay.
It's big enough.
You want me to lay out?
We're both gonna lay out and we're gonna watch it. It's an 8-minute promo. I'm going to
insider terms, by the way. Insider terms.
It's 8 minutes. We're gonna just sit here and watch its entirety. Because I've not watched it. I'm sorry, you're gonna have to watch it again. If you want, Vern, set an alarm for 8 minutes right now, and it'll wake you up at 11:45.
Okay, yes, it was an alarm. I might take a bathroom break here because
that might be smart.
Because I can tell you, I want to hear your reactions to it. I want to see your reactions to it, but I want to discuss this with you because as I watched it, I was texting with the homie Shay. Shout out to Shay. As always, I was sending out my 400 wall of texts as I was like having all my thoughts as I was happening. So that's what I'm saying. I have a head full of thoughts on it.
Your CVS receipts.
As I'm always like thinking of like what am I watching? So yeah.
All right.
So go ahead.
All right. So boom. Here's what I'm gonna do. Oh, I don't have to do that part. So I'm gonna leave it like this. Okay. So we can see. Actually, I want to. We don't have to see that bottom corner. We're gonna watch this. And then hopefully they can't come for us this way because it's a tweet from a third-party source. So I'm trying to figure out a way we can crack the code. So Tony Khan, I'm coming for you, sucker. No, that's not what Booker T said. That's not what Booker T said.
I was like, wrong promo. Cut that.
Cut that. All right. Here we go. All right, boom. I'm gonna mute us both. I'm gonna let it play. I'm going to let it rock. All right. And we'll react to it afterwards. I have not watched a single lick of this. I watched the first 6 seconds. I'm lying. Just to make sure it was the promo. Okay. Ready, Vern?
Wardlow had everything in the world to fight for this past Sunday night.
I am in a lot of pain right now after what happened on Sunday. But all you people want to do is hear me talk, right? That's what you want, right? You want to hear me talk? I'll talk, but this is Max Friedman talking. Big merger, boss. A lot of important executives here tonight to watch your product. Would be a real shame if something bad happened. I wouldn't want to embarrass you, man. Speaking of embarrassing, you've been trying to sit down with me to hash things out for quite some time now, haven't you? Well, guess what? Too little, too late. Here's why. When this company first started, it was all friends wrestling. Everybody was handed a ticket, except for me. See, I had to write my own. And boy, do I have good penmanship, because I created moment after moment after moment for this company, and I still get no respect. Nobody is on my level. No one. Everything I touch turns to gold. There is nothing I can't do. Every time I come out here, I am not expected to hit home runs. I am expected to hit grand slams, and I do that shit on a weekly basis. See, all the other boys, they get to settle for being great. I have to be perfect because I'm the 26-year-old who is constantly held under a microscope because I'm the only guy who is capable of carrying this company on my back as I have for months. It's funny I hear boos, but I also hear clapping. That's interesting. That's interesting. Where were you guys? Where were you guys this whole weekend when you were calling me an unprofessional piece of shit? I'm just curious. You're not the only problem. No, it's the boys in the back too. Because the boys in the back all want my spot. Well, guess what? You want my spot, you can have it. Because I don't want to be here anymore. Now let's talk about you fans, huh? You people call yourself fans. You're not fans. You're uneducated marks. You sit there on your phones tweeting out your opinions like they're worth a damn. Let me explain something to you people. You don't know shit. Your opinions suck. Your opinions change at the drop of a dime, and then you pretend your new opinions are the same as your old. For example, man, I always knew MJF was a good wrestler. Really? That's interesting. Because last time I checked, you guys pretended I sucked in the ring for a long time. And why is that, huh? Because I'm not untrained like all your faves? Because I don't pretend to watch New Japan? Because I don't dump my opponents on their head? Because I'm not reckless? What is it? Is it because I'm not chasing star ratings, guys? What is it? How could I possibly be the best? Well, newsflash, I am the best! I'm the best in the world! Because I'm the only guy who makes you feel. And unlike all those boys, I don't gotta do a bunch of bullshit to get you there. I am a generational talent, and you people consistently take me for granted. But it's not just you. It's the big man in the back, too. Here's something you guys can't take for granted. Here's something he doesn't want you to know. Do you guys know who the second biggest minute-for-minute draw is in this entire company? Nope, you wish. It's me. It's me. And if you don't believe me, do me a favor. Ask Stat Boy Tony in the back, see what he's got to say. But whatever you do, don't ask him to reach into his pockets and pay the man who's been busting his ass for him since day one. No. Make sure he hoards all that money. Make sure he hoards all that money so he can give it to all the new ex-WWE guys he keeps bringing in. That can't lace my goddamn boots. Hey, boss, would you treat me better if I was an ex-WWE guy? See, maybe you don't get it, man. Here's the problem with you, boss. You got a position of power in a wrestling company when the only position you should be assuming is behind the guardrail with all of them. I don't want to wait till 2024, but you don't listen to me. So allow me to make it a little bit easier for you. Tony, I want you to fire me. Tony, don't tell me down, you piece of shit. Shut your mouth. Look at me, Tony. Look at me. I want you to fire me. You fire me.
Okay. Oh, all right.
And
all
there
right.
you have it.
Oh, wow.
Wait, I gotta ask. If you had to give it a name that you've heard it once, not had time to analyze it, but is it the pipe bomb or is it the improvised explosive device?
Oh, it's definitely the IED. It's definitely IED.
This is just hocked together, just a bunch of screws inside of a mason jar with C4.
Couple of bolts, couple of, shrapnel, random shrapnel. So listen. Don't get me twisted. Don't get it twisted. I liked it.
I did too.
It was a little over the top, but it needed to get where he wanted to go. I get it. It sets up. You know what it sets up, which I find funny.
Tell me what thespian Maxwell sets up, because this was Maxwell being a thespian and tapping into that emotion when he I was like,
what did he say? He said, what he said, fire me, Tony. You can hear it. You can read his lips. You effing Mark or blah, 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 whatever. Cut that. You effing M word.
First of all, how they could allow him to use that kind of language on television?
So wrong.
Like
M word, that is derogatory. Derogatory, sir.
I'm really worried about the children on that.
You know what, Vern? I'm calling the FCC. Calling the FCC on AEW for using that term, the M word.
Slurs on television.
Yes. Okay. So not seriously. I liked it. I get what they're trying to do. Obviously, this is work.
I appreciate you saying that to me. You get where they're going. What's the payoff here in MJF cutting his quote unquote pipe bomb and being anti-company? Fire me. What's the payoff in having worked this, made us all believe it was real, having MJF for the last 6 months complain about, he wants a new contract, yada, 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 yada. Cut this impassioned promo. This isn't MJF. This is Maxwell Friedman. This is me doing my
Phil Brooks.
Oh. Yes. This is me doing my
Phil Brooks talking to Paul Levesque.
My what's his face? God, it was like a poor man's Brian Pillman, the way he was trying to yell and scream and be very intense when he looked with his eyes and let you know.
Right.
But what's the payoff?
So
because you just said fire me. Vince isn't going to pick you up. But like this feels very VKM, Voodoo Kin Mafia. Feels very Voodoo Kin Mafia.
Mahi.
Where remember there was no payoff. Sean and Mr. Hickabotham and Mr. Levesque were never going to meet them for that $1 million challenge. Remember the $1 million challenge?
Yeah, no.
That was never going to happen, but they still made the challenge and they still put it out there to the universe. It's never going to happen.
Okay.
So Maxwell doing all this, I'm just saying, for me, same thing. Maxwell, fire me, you mark. Maxwell, this is a very impassioned promo, and I appreciate you trying to make it look real, but what's the end game here? Because according to your promo and in kayfabe, the only end game result is either you get more money or you're going to the Fed.
Leaving. Right. Okay.
Not just leaving, specifically, you're going to the Fed.
Well, he didn't say that in the promo. He didn't say it in the promo.
He didn't say it in the promo, but insinuated. Correct. Sure.
Insinuated.
You're 100%
what if I was an ex-WWE guy, huh? So listen.
Tell me.
I feel like with this story, you can branch several ways. So obviously, all that reported stuff from this past weekend was a work. We read some article. I don't think I kept it, but that even Meltzer and Alvarez are in on it, and that's where the false reports came. Whatever. If it's a work, brilliant. It's different. Okay. You don't see stuff like that. Okay, whatever. Whatever.
What don't you see? What
Hold
don't you
on,
see?
Vern.
What don't you see? But you're trying to attribute some sort of uniqueness to this. It was a shoot. You're doing what happens downstairs.
I didn't say.
You just said this is something fresh. This is something new. Did you not?
Okay.
Did you not just say that?
I did. I said this is something
this is
different.
fresh. Oh, really?
This is something
is
different.
It?
It's different.
A guy said shit 6 times on television and he was Shootie. He was giving comments in the back. That doesn't happen weekly on AW television?
In that aspect or in that context? No. Nobody goes out there
someone coming out to cut a
contract.
Shootie promo on AW television. Someone doesn't make some
Tony Khan. Nobody does that. If you want to be specific about it, you want to be specific.
So it's about Tony. So it's not my favorite CA Dub 99 cutting her CA Dub promo where my favorite wrestler. It's not her cutting down every single person in the locker room, saying all sorts of realness, like, yo, when you ordered Chick-fil-A yesterday, yeah, they forgot your pickles and you said nothing, you punk. She always cuts the most like, wow, that was
stop.
Was very poignant.
Stop.
Either way, what I'm saying is it's not unique. Someone shooting on AW. The problem with the shoot on AW is everybody shoots. Every Chris Jericho comment is a shoot. Why aren't you dead, Steven Regal? The shoot is nonsensical on AW. So the fact that you're like, it's new, it's not new, Frank. You're just tasting vanilla ice cream with sprinkles on it. Ooh, come taste it, Bird. It's new.
What I'm trying to say is you're gonna leave now.
Whatever.
Podcast over.
Whatever. Double O. Go ahead. Double O. Tell me.
I'm trying to say, the dynamic of this story, if they go this route, it's different because nobody has done a story with Tony Khan in that way. You get what I'm saying? It can lead. It can lead to this where.
So you think this is going to lead to a story with Tony Khan as a character?
I don't see anything. What else can you do from this?
That's the point. There is no end game because Tony Khan can. They're going to be on television.
Listen, as much as you are correct.
Stop it. No, stop it. I don't even want to pretend. Correct. No, stop it. I don't want to have this conversation with you. Stop it. No. I refuse to let you put this into the universe.
You're going to hear this.
No.
You're going to hear this.
I'm begging you to not put this into the universe. Don't put this into the universe.
As you are correct.
Here it is. This is the butterfly effect.
Tony Khan.
Here it is, folks.
Is going to become a character in this saga. Okay?
There it is.
I'm sorry. It's here.
Okay.
And this is why you're telling yourself there's no end game, because you refuse to believe that they're going to start using Tony Khan in this sense. A story has now brought Tony Khan outside from behind the curtain.
So it is 11:53 p.m. to take a peek behind the windows. This is the death of AEW. Right now, Frank Champion just pointed to the fence. He just pointed to the fence and he just said, this is the death of AEW. If Tony Khan,
right out the park,
Khan attempts his best Vincent Kennedy McMahon,
I'm telling you,
his best Vincent in Memphis, his best whatever it is, because at this point, the authority figure has been done to death as the heel in the story.
Right. So hold on. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's not. I'm sorry. I can't agree with you.
But now listen. Okay, let's just listen to how the crowd was. All right. They started with the STFU chants. STFU, shut up. You know what I'm saying? Then they started to get behind his wording. Then he'd say something and they'd go, ooh. And then they say, what if I was an ex-WWE guy? You think he'd treat me the same? And
they popped when he called them marks. They popped.
Wait. Hold on, Vern. I'm getting there. This crowd is going to start to get behind MJF. If they continue this route, okay? MJF is you go in the basement. I don't like touching that doorknob. So I keep the door closed, locked. There's a latch here. There's another one of them big deadbolt latches.
I hear locks. You. I do venture into the basement lots.
You go to the basement, you talk to those dudes that have the anime blankets on their couch. You talk to all those dudes.
Pillows. Shout out to them with the waifu pillows
that they be cuddling up because they don't leave. Okay, you go down there. I'm sure in that basement, there are guys right now saying he was innovative. Please don't do a spit take. He was innovative. He was outstanding. I stand behind MJF. They're gonna make it. The way that this can go, it's two ways. No matter what, Tony Khan is a part of it, Vern. I'm sorry.
I screenshotted one for you guys.
Okay.
I won't read their names, but the original poster comment says, I really thought a work shoot wouldn't work. ... I shouldn't doubt AEW and MJF. The next comment says, when I realized it was a work, I felt myself be like, oh man. But then I just accepted it for what it was. A really effing compelling and intense story, and just let kayfabe take over.
I need a bell. Ding.
To which the next person comments, and is the last one, says, when they cut the mic and he tapped on it and they went to commercial, that's when I knew Santa wasn't real.
Ding. Dude. Those fans are going to eat it up. It's their very own pipe bomb. It's their very own pipe bomb.
It's their very own smoke bomb. What are them little bombs? What are them little joints called? You used to get in the bag. You should throw them on the ground. They would just pop.
The little joints, the papers. Oh my God.
That's what this is.
Oh
That's what this is. This is not a pipe bomb. This is whatever them joints were called. I don't remember what they were called, but you know what I'm talking about.
The little cracker joints, you just threw them and they pop.
Pop. Yep. They look like little cloves of garlic with the long with the
stem. Pop. Yeah, I know what you used to throw them at people. Just like a jerk.
Yep. That's what this is. This is MJF.
Business. Pop. They can't lace my boots. Pop.
Come on. When he almost blew a artery when he said,
yeah.
It was you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of Shane Douglas. When Shane Douglas would get worked up in ECW, early ECW, when he was like talking about Dick Flair. Yeah. And he would get worked up like, I tell you what, Dick Flair. Like it reminded me of, and I was like, I think he's trying to emulate the Punk promo, but he's dipped really deep into that like angry, bitter Shane Douglas ECW stuff, which fine, but I think it's where I guess everybody goes, right? If I talk louder and if I talk I guess just louder and faster, it denotes intensity of some sort. It denotes how angry I am. Because if I talk to you and tell you like this, then you know.
You sound like an indie worker that we used to work out here.
Correct.
If Shay, you hear this, you know exactly who he sounded right there.
But that's what I mean, right? Like it's inflection. It's not, there's no, so I don't know if I fully believed MJF. At some point, it was like, oh, okay, he's emoting. He's just emoting. I fully expected him to cry at one point in the promo, to start going like, I am who I claim to be. Because it looked like, I thought he was turning full-fledged babyface. And I mean, I still suspect it is because.
That's what I was going to get at. Because there's no end game right now. Like you're saying, there's nowhere to go besides making MJF a babyface here.
The guy. Tony Khan a heel.
Oof.
But
did I bring that? Did I bring that too when I said he's going to be on?
Yes,
TV?
That's what you said. Because I was like, it doesn't make sense. Because then Tony can't come out as a big baby face.
No, because people are going to look at it as the guy who wants to raise and he keeps getting denied. How many times have people quit jobs because they felt like they deserve something they don't get and they want to leave? It's a relatable story.
Is it relatable because you have an everyday guy who just wants to raise with a boss who's just mean and a mean millionaire boss?
Yes. That's what it's gonna be. You know it is, Vern. Vern, don't act like you don't know that's what this is about to be. Okay? It's about to be midnight. It's gonna be June 2nd. Let's mark it now. 11:59. That's what this is going to be.
I will once again state this is why, as much as somebody who's watched every episode of AEW so far, up until like February, that show has just been. It's a show without a point. It's a show that it feels like they find their footing. They'll find something. They get a Wardlow. They find a Wardlow, but then they also find a Chris Jericho story that goes on for 19 months where he always gets over. And as a heel, he shows his ass. And then in the same segment, gets his comeback in the same segment.
All right,
not even, but anyway, but yes, but back to the original point.
Yes.
Right? MJF is not kidding. From the gate, MJF, when he first got introduced on an episode of BTE, I remember it was an episode of BTE where he came on and he was like, "Hey guys," and then a second later is when he did the bit where he was like, "Let me tell you something, bunch of marks. I'm not here for you guys. I'm here for whatever." So they've been playing that from the gate.
Yes.
So kudos to them for that. But in 3 years, you're already getting to the quote unquote the pipe bomb moment where the salt of the earth worker, the CM Punk, the worker's worker, the professional wrestler is ready to step out and finally unmask and take off the shackles and say, you know what? I'm going to finally tell the truth around here.
Yeah.
You know why the pipe bomb worked? Because we all weren't sitting on the dirt sheets reading every time CM Punk went to catering and was like, "This cheeseburger sucks." And there was an article written about how bad the cheeseburger was and how he wasn't into the catering. The thing with MJF, going back to the whole story about he bought a plane ticket
this weekend, the whole weekend thing.
So crazy.
They said this is all a work, right? And they were saying that Alvarez and Meltzer. Well, it has to be. Yeah, this was on. Yeah,
it's just
if
so
it was a shoot, he wouldn't have been on
point.
TV today.
Correct.
He wouldn't have been on TV today, just like with Sasha and Naomi.
But it just made it seem like why waste all these great angles? And maybe I'm wrong, and that's what I love about this podcast is I watch this stuff back and I think I'm so wrong so many things I said. But like, why waste this then? Why waste what is allegedly a real, truthful, breaking the third wall moment where he called him an effing mark. He swore on a live house mic.
He told his boss to give up his position and to go sit on the other side of the guardrails with the rest of the fans.
Right.
So he pretty much he literally called him a money mark without calling it. But I'm sorry. In context, I could say it.
But what's corny is it parrots a lot with like a lot of anti-WWE podcasts and shows talk about, right? And like people are critical of AEW. It just parrots that. And okay, like it was just like, MJF, dude, there has to be more to the story you're going to tell us than you just want more money. So you carried the company in your back. All right, so are you becoming the hero of the people? Are you taking the Cody spot? Like, let's call it what it is. Are you moving into the people's champion Cody spot? Like, is that because that's the only thing that would make sense to me here is that he usurps the people's champion, right? The guy who was held down, who everyone else who came in from the outside, these people who weren't day ones. MJF is a true day one.
Yeah. I mean, no, he wasn't an all out, was he? I don't think he was.
He did. He worked in the battle royal with the legless guy.
Okay, so boom, there you go. So he was there from literally the gate.
Yes, no. Again, I've seen it all.
Yeah, you watched it all.
I fast forward through a lot of it. I've seen it. My eyes. I've seen it on fast forward.
Your eyes have seen. Okay, I watched that part.
There's a lot of BTE that I think I'm outside the demographic. Like when they do the demos, I'm like, oh yeah, I must not be in that because some of the stuff is funny and some of the stuff is just cringy, and then others of it just kind of makes you scratch your head because I didn't watch it from the beginning, so a lot of it's the inside jokes.
That's probably why you don't get it. You don't get some of the jokes they're trying to tell unless you watched it from the beginning.
I've seen the introduction of Orange Cassidy. I've seen the origin story of Hangman Page becoming a drunk. Hangman Page became a drunk because he went private party, used to walk around with cups and be like, it ain't water, which in and of itself, but it ain't water.
Yeah, let's not go down. Let's not go
down. It
ain't
water. It ain't water. Yo, be careful, Doc. It ain't water. So Adam Page, after the match came back, just grabbed it, takes it to the head, right? Glug, 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 takes a cup to the head. Yo, son, yo, chill. That ain't water, yo, chill. And he's like, oh, whoa, that stuff's crazy. Yo. Hey, and it was one cup.
Okay.
Did the I'm a little kid, I'm pretending to be drunk. And my mind was blown because I said, holy crap. Did we just watch the origin story? I have said it before and I will continue to say it. BTE is the A show. Dynamite is the B show. If you want to know, if you
Rampage is Sunday Night Heat.
Rampage is velocity. Rampage is
Jack Metal.
Yeah, Jack Metal. Rampage is daggone Super Estrellas on Telemundo, bro.
I forgot about that one.
Yeah, no, Rampage.
Super Estrellas.
No, Super Astros. Excuse me, no, Super Astros.
Super Astros. Yeah, that's what it was.
So that whole long diatribe meant to say that is that this MJF thing could have legs. It really could. But
there is space for it.
Yes, but with Wardlow, good heel, good face, fuego.
Yeah, it worked out perfectly.
MJF, your face in the story. You can't be the face and Tony Khan be your heel, because if AEW is the heel in the story, where are you going with this? Because it only ends with you getting fired or going to the dub.
Okay, because let's look at it like this, right?
Tell me.
In the WWE, when
you seem to have a mind that gets this booking. So did you play a lot of TW? You played a lot of TEW 2000. I can tell you played a lot of that sim game, because you have a lot of this booking down pat.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's the only way, because this whole booking is based on that computer game.
Definitely played $30 for my copy.
Exactly.
No, so all right, so we were saying this, right? If it makes MJF a babyface, it is probably. No, it is. It's the worst idea they can come up with.
So, but you agree he has to be a babyface after this.
Listen to that's why I said with the crowd, they ate up everything.
They were all up into
everything.
Yeah,
everything.
Which is weird. Why do people so into that? What makes it so prone to, like, you bury your boss and the media is like, yeah, God damn it, yeah. Because Tony Khan, don't people like Tony Khan?
I don't want.
Isn't he loved? I'm serious.
Right, that's what I was gonna say. So now you're creating a weird conflict.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me.
You're creating a weird conflict because
everybody loves AEW. The babyface.
Right. Everybody loves AEW. In a WWE sense, Vince is the evil. You know what I'm saying? And he always was. He was always portrayed that way, that Vince is just evil. The evil man. The screw job helped him even more, and then he became a character, right? That's what it was for that.
Well, he was everybody. He was portrayed as just the owner. Then he transitioned into. But I get what you're saying,
right? Well, I'm watching the Raws back. He still is trying to kayfabe the fact that he's not the owner. Even in this, I'm in 97.
Well,
October.
If you remember all the post interviews of, like, the screw job, remember everybody said that Vince viewed himself as the babyface. Vince's brain, he never saw himself as the heel.
Vince protected his company,
despite everyone around him being like, Vince, you're the biggest heel, and he was like,
"You're a jerk." No,
exactly. What do you mean, pal? I'm the babyface. Exactly. Everyone should be pissed at Brett.
Be mad at Brett. He's the one that robbed you guys of a title match.
But Vince had some idea. But Vince had some idea of, like, psychology of kayfabe, of getting in the ring, right? Like, say what we all want about WWE booking currently. But Vince understood the plot at some point. He got it. He got the plot. He's Caesar. As Chief J. Strong would say, that's Caesar. Caesar ruled. Right? Mm-hmm. So as much as we can poo-poo on the product today or poo-poo on WWF of the 80s, whatever, it sold tickets. It made money. The booking made some type of sense to somebody.
It sold a lot of seats. So over the years,
that whole McMahon thing of his brain, right? Because remember, right, when he went to Memphis is when we got that glimpse of the evil McMahon character. When
the beginnings of it, early 90s, right?
When he went to Memphis and he had himself Pat Patterson as a shooter. My favorite thing, he had Pat with him in case things got rough. Pat was going to beat it.
Pat was going to have
to hook somebody. Mr. Jerry Briscoe down there ready to hook somebody. But
if I got to hook you, I'll hook you.
Right, but like.
In this
that's not this, but that's not this.
Right. Now that's where the problem lies. Because nobody wants
to see. Everybody likes Tony Khan.
And nobody wants to see MJF versus Tony Khan. Imagine
9 days. In 9 days. 9 days from today. Yes, in 9 days.
Could you imagine in the ring at a main event of one of the big fours? I don't know what they call it. Let's call it Double or Nothing, whatever. All Out, whatever. Because I feel like All Out's Full Gear, all in, all out. They
don't
do All In. They've only done All Out since. Revolution. I
New Year's Revolution. That was a pay-per-view?
I thought that was on TV. I don't
I
remember.
thought it was on TV too, actually.
Okay, so let's say it's Tony Khan versus MJF at
No.
Double or Nothing or All Out. Could you imagine that?
No, don't even speak it into existence. No,
Bro,
no.
it's a that open. Okay, so I love story-based games like Until Dawn, games like Detroit, where you make one decision and it branches out,
a multi-branching storyline, yes,
and you go whichever route you go. That's what this is right now. This is the beginning. This MJF IED. We're calling it the MJF IED. Okay, this MJF.
No, it's the MJF. Not it's the MJF.
Whatever the poppers.
The MJF Poppers, whatever they're called, MJF Poppers, because there's not an ID. ID's too much for this. This promo didn't get all that. I'm sorry.
Okay, for the Poppers, the MJF Poppers, that opens it up now. Is Tony going to be evil? Is Tony going to try and play the businessman route?
But
because if Tony doesn't respond, then what? Now forget everything he just said. That was pointless. And Tony has to respond, and how he responds will determine who he is.
In a White Claw fueled tweet is what he's going to respond to.
If he does it in a tweet, then it's just AEW. Then it's typical AEW, and they drop the ball because they have a chance to go somewhere. I don't know if it's somewhere good, somewhere bad, but you started this now. You started this, Vern. If me and you wrote for wrestling, and we wrote and we said, hey, we're going to do this here, the first thing I'm going to ask is, if we start this here, what's the end game? Where are we leading to? If you're telling me that they don't have that idea already and they're going to figure that out on the fly, Vern, forget it. Forget we even spent like 40-something minutes talking about this.
I think MJF's talented in the world, and part of me is like, could MJF pull a match out of Tony Khan?
Oh God!
But then but then the other half of me just said, I don't think Carl Gotch or Luthez could pull him. Buddy Rose couldn't pull a match out of this guy. Like
Bruno Sammartino. We were talking about him all 2 weeks.
The daggone stretch his ass. Anyway.
All right. Let's put a bow on it, man. Let's
put a bow on it. We'll wrap it up because we could go on this all day.
Right. We've been going like 40-some odd minutes. We talked about a lot of things. We talked about WWE and Vince McMahon. Let's talk about Stephanie McMahon.
Stephanie, real quick, shout out to her. Taking a leave of absence. She's taking a leave of absence to spend time at home, to do some things, get her house in order. Shout out to her.
Right. I'm gonna read.
Shout out to her. Yeah, read the official statement.
I'm gonna read. This is from the Sporting News. This is what I love. Can I tell you something? When I look up articles for this thing, and I look up AEW articles, it's mainly like rumor and slander and all this stuff.
Fightful. It's mainly Fightful. It's mainly
What Culture, Wrestling News.
The same 4 or 5 articles.
When I look up WWE stuff, it is like legitimate.
Forbes.
The Sporting News. Forbes, right? I had Forbes a couple weeks ago. Like, I'm not looking up like What Culture, something like that.
First of all, Fedbot, relax. The Fed's dead. They're irrelevant. Relax.
Sorry. E-Drone. Hold on.
Yeah, E-Drone. Yeah, go get a reboot. First of all, you're over here trying to daggone say.
I malfunctioned for a little bit. Okay. All right. Okay, I'm just reading the tweet. I don't even like how that started. And this is from the Sporting News. Yeah. All right. I'm going to just read the tweet.
Go ahead.
Stephanie McMahon posted on May 19th, 2022 at 4:30 p.m. So she must have did it at the end of her workday.
Yeah.
So she said, as of tomorrow, I am taking a leave of absence from the majority of my responsibilities at WWE. WWE is a lifelong legacy for me, and I look forward to returning to the company that I love after taking this time to focus on my family. And then it says she was the chief brand officer of WWE, but I'm sure she did a lot more things. She had her name in many hats in the WWE.
She used to be head of creative back in the day.
Yeah. When Bruce got fired the second or third time, right? She was head of creative.
Oh, it's been told. Yeah.
That's the stories I've heard from him. So we're not gonna like go crazy on this because
I think it's newsworthy and I think it's good for her. Look, you and I talked about it offline, or we talked about it off air, but like if this is her going home to spend time with her husband after the homie done survived everything he talked about, he's alive, and like he was like
just about to say
heartbeat from death, like
right,
bruh, go spend time with your family. You gotta wonder, these folk make all this bread, you stack all this paper, and at some point, just go enjoy.
You gotta enjoy it. You gotta enjoy the bread. So here's how I look at it. Triple H, we covered it like the second or third week during the WrestleMania weekend. Triple H came out, said he was all set with wrestling, said he almost died. His heart.
Stephen A. Smith interview. Yeah, we covered that.
Stephen A. Smith interview. His heart was low percentage. I don't remember the exact numbers, but it was like on the verge of failing on him.
Yeah, and they had to implant.
He has a pacemaker.
Yeah, the pacemaker's installed.
Right, 50s with a pacemaker is crazy, especially for a guy who's been in incredible shape and stuff like that. But I look at it like this: what did they say? 15, 13, and 11, 3 daughters or something like that.
Yeah,
or like 17, 15, 13, 3 kids, something in that area, right? Or between 11 and 17 years old. Let's just say that.
Sure.
You have a husband who's been on the road for God knows how long. You have a wife who has also been on the road working literally for her entire life.
18 years old, I think, is when she got the job, the head writing job.
She had the job before she was even old enough to have the job. Let's be honest.
Okay.
Let's be honest. I feel like, I mean, I'm not there. I'm not on the wall, but my sources tell me. Now let me stop.
Legitimate. It's legitimate. Hey,
legitimate sources.
It's as legitimate as anybody else.
Right.
You said it, and I backed you up, so that's as credible as I need. Pretty much anything on the internet.
She's been around wrestling her whole life. She said it in the tweet. It's a lifelong legacy. She's not going anywhere. She's taking a leave of absence. She's going on vacation, a long vacation. Let's be honest. She's going on a long vacation. She's going to spend time with her husband.
Doing something that her dad never did, right? Like her father, who we all know was a notorious workaholic. Learn from the old man.
And once Vince decides to say, okay, I'm dead now, because he's not just going to die normally. Vince is definitely in control of that. You don't.
Yo,
what?
I hear you. Vince is going to go out like in a rocket ship, something insane. Like
Vince is going to be like 150, and he's going to be like, "All right, I think I'm good now.
Done.
I think I'm good now."
Let me book one more show. Let me book myself one more main event.
WrestleMania 93, and then like you already know. But once he finally is gone, because that's the only way he's going to relinquish that position. I believe it's Stephanie's. I believe that if she wants it, it's hers.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it. So she lifelong legacy. She is always going to be with that company. Deserved vacation. She doesn't need to, prove anything to anybody. She is who she is because of her last name and all the work she put in. So it's like, go do your thing. Go be with your husband, be with your kids, enjoy the time. Take the whole summer. Come back in September ready to work. I feel like whatever. I mean, she'll be back, and it won't be news that she's back either. I bet whenever she gets back, she'll just be on TV. They'll be like, "Oh, Stephanie's back." It'll be something like that. So,
sure.
But yeah, that's all I wanted to cover on that. But let's stay with the E. Let's talk about this right here. Let me just pop it up on the screen, and I feel like I need to start doing this, Vern.
What's up, boss?
Because I feel like, and by the way, we ain't got the banner going. We've been on for an hour. And we ain't got the banner going. Bam.
Hey.
I feel like we'll talk about stuff in the video version. Yeah. And we hope everybody sees the video version, but then we have the audio version, which is why I put that ticker down there. And we sometimes don't explain what we see on the screen. So I'm gonna explain it. Sure. And I feel like we can go back and forth on times like that. And we can do this. So the WWE Money in the Bank was scheduled to be at Allegiant Stadium. Now I probably should have looked this up, but Allegiant Stadium is the football stadium for
holds like 64K or something.
That's what I wanted to look up. It is the football stadium that just got built maybe like 2 or 3 years ago, opened 2 years ago. Probably started building right a little before that, for the Las Vegas Raiders when they moved to Las Vegas. It holds, for NFL football games, it holds 65,000 people. Okay, and it's expandable. It says it's expandable to 71,000. So give or take, WWE taking away seats for their equipment and stuff like that. Let's just say 55,000. Let's just say that's what they probably were aiming for Money in the Bank. They switched venues after what? After reported poor ticket sales, right?
Yeah.
That they only pre-sale
was like 15,000, and they were expected to be double that by this point. They weren't.
Right. And it was low. So they just said, you know what, we're going to switch the venue to the MGM Grand Arena, which is a smaller venue, but still a venue a good venue in its own right. AEW did their first Double or Nothing there, which I think was the first AEW pay-per-view after All In. Well, All In doesn't count as its pay-per-view, but I think the next pay-per-view AEW did was All In. I mean, was Double or Nothing.
Yeah,
because
yeah,
it had
they did those
Jericho.
stupid names.
It was
Yeah,
Jericho
they
and
did
Moxley.
And they had all the dumb names that fed into each other. All in.
Right. That's why
yeah.
it's Double or Nothing.
Double or
So
Nothing, the buy-in.
the graphic that you see right here on our screen, if you're listening on the audio, is this the email that WWE sent out for pre-sales saying, hey, we've moved it from Allegiant to the MGM Grand. And I just realized it's on a Saturday. Wow, it's a Saturday, not the Sunday. I think Vince loves the 4th of July, so he's probably like, I need 2 days. But yeah, they moved on. It's a graphic of all the pretty much
the Raw talent.
What? A lot of the Raw talent is what I'm looking at right here. This is looking like a Raw pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't going to bring this up. I doubt it because they're not doing that on TV. There's a lot of commingling of workers from brand to brand. But do you think they're trying to go back to Raw pay-per-view, SmackDown pay-per-view? You think they're trying to do that?
No.
I mean, everybody. I think Roman was also scheduled for this pay-per-view. He's taken out.
Somebody else. Roman. That's until Roman was like, chill. I'm on that Bruno schedule.
Roman was like,
can't have me every show.
Money in the bank. I'll see you at Hell in a Cell, brother, or something like that. He's like, forget all that. So the way I'm looking at it here now, they made the move. I'm sure they're going to sell it out. It sits 17,000 people.
Oh, they've already sold, I think, was 50%. Like, what was I telling you before? Like, half the tickets were sold in the first day they were on pre-sale. They sold about 50% of tickets or something crazy.
That was today.
No.
Pre-sale was today, June 1st.
Okay, yeah. I'm pretty sure then, yeah. It was like they reported like halfway through the day, it was reported that there were 50% of the tickets were already sold.
So they must have, I think what they did was they refunded everybody who bought tickets to Allegiant.
And then if you refunded the tickets, they had first dibs. If you bought a ticket, you had first dibs.
First dibs to order. So I mean, I'm just for kicks and giggles while we're talking about it, we can talk. Let's go and take a look and see. I'm gonna go and take a match and see.
Yeah, because I was reading on I was on Reddit. And there's a few people there who were saying that they were actually happy it moved venues because the refund they got for the original ticket, they were able to buy better tickets. To this
show. Because now you're going from a football stadium, which you're sitting in the regular stands that would be good seats for a football game, are now far away for a wrestling show. Yeah. Those tickets are still going to be 3 figures.
Correct.
You can take those 3 figures
price,
right
in a stadium, in an arena. That price of ticket moves you down further. So a couple people were like, "Hey, I don't mind. I got a way better seat than I imagined." One guy was like, "I'm sitting hard cam now, so thanks for the venue change."
Right. So now I'm looking up WWE Money in the Bank.
Shorty, what you think?
It's only showing me the canceled Allegiant Stadium one. Yeah, that's it. So I couldn't even look if I wanted to. Okay. So I just wanted to touch on that. Do you look at it as do you look at it as a bad thing? I think we probably said it without saying it.
No, I mean
it's not, in my opinion.
I have heard some comments and I've been to the basement. I've read some think pieces that many of the Rhodes scholars on there like to write about.
Out of this basement,
and but I also read a lot of a lot of the different Meltzer wrote up some things, a lot of the ha tee comments from across the aisle.
Yeah.
And right, the reason I do it is because I'm always like, okay, you got to hear the argument from the other side because clearly they may see something I don't.
Right.
And a lot of the argument for this was like, oh, look at them. They look like idiots. They booked such a giant venue and now they've got to take their hat in hand and go and book a smaller place, which on some respects, yeah, you're right. That is true. But they're still going to sell. They're still going to sell the place out. And I mean, it's just one of those weird places where I get it. Diehards are trying to own the Fed, but it's like, you're going to own them on selling out the smaller arena.
They're still sold out,
I guess.
I look at it those kind of fans, those guys that are in the basement, they're dubbed good, fed bad. Those guys, any little inkling. I mean, Vince McMahon could stub his toe. Fed's over. Vince McMahon stubbed his toe. He's not going to be able to show up to a show. That's it. He's done with AEW for life. It's like, okay, bro. It's okay. Yeah. It's okay. We only talked about it because it was like, it's some sort of news to talk about. But I mean, what's the big deal? They went from a football stadium to a smaller arena.
Well, I guess it's just because they they look silly because they made a big deal out of they were going to the big stadium.
They did talk about this for like a year though. Because right when Allegiant Stadium,
remember, they made the big announcement. They look. I'll give it to them. They were like, we're gonna go for, and they figured announcing it a year in advance and all that, but didn't pan out that way. They
I think it's prices. Yeah, COVID restrictions on the West Coast. It's not like
the big stadium show was Mania. Mania was your big one stadium show.
And yes, right. And you're going to get more than just a wrestling show at Mania. That's the thing. So it's
I didn't get the idea. It just felt like you're doing too much. Like this, this just felt like you're getting greedy. You drew a huge crowd.
Yeah, do Mania there. Go to Vegas for Mania.
Correct. But to do Money in the Bank, and it's not even a show that you can really say like Money in the Bank in front of a stadium. Why? Why was that?
Right. SummerSlam. Sure. I wouldn't say Survivor Series as of now.
There definitely was the lack of name power to the pay-per-view, and that the pay-per-view Money in the Bank's a fun pay-per-view, but you have to really be into Money in the Bank the same way you got to be into Hell in the Cell. Because if not, it's just a pay-per-view with a few matches you're not going to enjoy, and
I think they thought too highly of it. You got to be ambitious, right? In the business,
sure,
you got to be ambitious.
Sure,
if you say even in the lower tier, I just want to wrestle because I want to have fun with my friends. Okay, that's all fine and dandy. But there's other people out there that want to wrestle because they want to work Japan, work AEW, work WWE, work Impact, be the best they can be. So you can't knock them for wanting to be that ambitious. I know why you're knocking the E, because E's the almighty E, so nothing bad ever happens to those guys. But when it does, we got to make sure we take whatever it was and drag it across 100-yard field of mud. It just is what it is. All right, but let's see, where are we at now? Let's talk, man. We're almost done, but not really. Did you know? I'm gonna hit you with a did you know, Vernon. 5 days ago now. Hopefully I can do math. 5-6 days ago now. It was the 26th year anniversary of the day Scott Hall arrived in WCW.
I did see this these clips making its round on the internet.
So,
but did I remember it myself? No, I'm not.
I'm not gonna lie. I didn't remember it until I saw it. I was like,
I'm not sure I was supposed to rember it, but sure.
I remember watching this live as a
kid. I remember
remember
the experience of it, but I don't remember the day going this 26 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, what? I remember watching this live, shocked, couldn't wait to talk about it with my friends in 6th grade, right? You're one of them. This is the year we met. Actually,
yeah, we met. Yeah, the year of the BWO, the Bus World Order. Yeah,
that's 6th grade. Yeah, so we talked about this the very next day on Tuesday. All right, so let me add it to the stream here. Boom. So today is the day that my man Scott Hall cut this promo. Come on, keep going. You're not gonna finish that?
Wow, we just came to screeching halt. What happened? Look at the drip on Scott Hall. Though.
You know what I love?
The Canadian tuxedo with the black boot combat boots.
Canadian tuxedo.
Shout out.
You know what I love about that?
What's up?
My man Scott Hall just pops up, middle of a match, shows up, asks for a mic, dismisses the match. Nobody else comes out, and he cuts his promo, and a ref's just telling him, "You need to leave." In hindsight, you're like, where was everybody? Was they being held hostage at the ramp? Like, was Kevin Nash at shotgun point?
Yeah, it is that, as Bill Watts would say, it's not taking the extra moments to stop and make sure you got all the holes in your story plugged up,
right?
Because that is just, when you look at it, you just think, a stranger hopped the guardrail and asked for a mic from where we're like, okay. But he asked for mic. All right, shoot him. Camera one, go. All right. Turn his mic up. Nothing about that seemed like it was an invasion. Everything seemed like Scott Hall said about the Montreal screw job. Brother, if it was a shoot, why would the cameraman focus correctly? Why would the director know what shots to take? Come on, man. Feels like a work to me. And when you look at it, you're like, yeah.
Right.
At the moment, as a kid, I was like, "Oh my god, this is the realest thing ever." Right
because
now, I'm like,
when we came on Tuesday, we were like, Razor Ramon's on TV. He was on WCW. What? I remember that, but it's like you watch it now, you're like, bro, what? That didn't make any sense, but it worked. Whatever, it worked.
I enjoyed it. It's fine, but like, if you do overanalyze it, there's like, so many holes in the story. The story is not bueno. But
okay.
I dig
bonus question.
Shoot.
Who were the two workers in the ring? Testing your knowledge.
I see. That was Colonel Rob Parker. And
do you want me to go back? I can go back. I could put it up.
Sure, yeah, put it up. Yeah, maybe I'll
put it back up.
See if I can remember.
See if you can remember who was who. Because one might trick you. Let's see. Let's go here. Oh, whoops! I definitely have to share it first. There we go. All right, boom.
So that's perfect.
This is perfect? Are you sure?
Okay, that's not perfect. Okay, I thought that was perfect considering he's wearing his tights.
May 27th, 1996. Kurt Hennig is in WCW by then? Has to
be.
Okay.
Maybe not then, because I'm just saying.
He has to be.
Who else wore those tights?
Who is my man in the assless chaps? Who is that?
Wait a minute.
That kind of looks like perfect. The hair is throwing me off, though.
Is that?
It's not so curly. Look. That's not perfect, brother.
Who is that?
As blurry as it is, that's not perfect. That's not perfect. Who is that? Come on, talk to me. Talk to me. Come on, Vern. You got that other one so good with Larry Sweeney. This is why I did a bonus question. All right, we'll feed you this. This referee here in the bow tie is?
That is Nick Patrick.
Okay, we knew Buddy Lee. I'll give you this one because he said it already. This guy right here. This is the Mauler. I don't remember the Mauler. Why'd he work in tights and then assless chaps?
Because he's a cowboy. He's out there with Ron Fuller. So I see Ron Fuller's on the outside. Ron Fuller's managing the Mauler.
I'm a cowboy. There goes Scott right here. People, all these guys have their.
Is that Larry Sweeney?
That is not Larry Sweeney.
No. I'm asking. Oh, okay. I'm asking you. I was like, who? I honestly, God, don't know who this is.
I would love to tell you. Let me see. Let me see. The commentators might say it.
Mauler completely maul his opponent, Steve Dalton.
Steve Dalton. I'm Googling like hell.
Just look up the results. Look up the cage match results for Monday Nitro.
Steve Dalton. I don't know. All right. While we do that, I'm gonna get that info. Whoa, behind the curtain. Whoa. Whoa, cut that. Nobody saw that.
Nitro 19. What was the date again?
Are you gonna do it? May 27th, 1996. All right. While you do that, we're gonna talk about Jeff Hardy real quick. Your favorite wrestler. We said it off the air in text, but I'm okay to say this on air. Jeff Hardy is damaged goods, bro. Wait, why am I on the Summer of Punk stuff? Wait a minute, what?
Steve Dahl. It's Steve Dahl. Doll. Yep, Steve Dahl.
Why did that just hold on?
Steve Dahl, who went by Steve Dahl, aka Steven Dunn, aka the man of the 90s.
Was he a part of Well Done?
Yep.
Oh my God. He was that team?
Yeah, you got it. You nailed it.
Oh
well done from the WWF.
Oh God. Oh my Lord.
Rex King, yeah, him and Rex King were well done. Steve Dunn and Timothy Well.
Oh my God, my chest. Oh. All right, moving on. Jeff Hardy's update on his health.
Oh, the Mauler was Mike Enos.
Oh,
Blake Beverly.
Yeah,
that's the Mauler.
Oh, go figure. All right, well then, moving on. All right, let's talk about this. I'm going to read this from comicbook.com really quick. My man Connor Casey posted this 2 days ago, May 31st. He said, Jeff Hardy looked noticeably, I can never say that word right. Jeff Hardy looked noticeably sluggish in the Hardys match with the Young Bucks at Sunday's Double or Nothing event, leading fans to worry about his status online as the match carried on. AEW initially announced a 10-man tag team match for this week's AEW Dynamite, pitting the Hardys, Jurassic Express, and Christian Cage against the Undisputed Elite. That was later shaved down to an 8-man tag with both Jeff and Adam Cole getting pulled. That's cap because that still stayed a 10-man. They just put Darby Allin and they put the guy from New Japan. But now that I'm thinking about it, why didn't they just make it an 8-man tag instead of a 10?
Tony didn't want to let the fans down, brother.
That's why he's a babyface, not a heel. Moving on. Dave Meltzer. Hey, our bi-weekly Meltzer quote of the week. Dave Meltzer noted on Observer Radio that Hardy didn't enter Sunday's match at full strength, still hurting from the Owen Hart Cup tournament match he had with Darby Allin. And we didn't talk about that match much, but a man who has been wrestling since the 90s and has bodied his body, for lack of better words, should have not had that match he had with Darby Allin, but we'll move on. That's just my quick take. Neither Matt nor Jeff have commented on the latter's status. Quote unquote from Mr. Meltzer himself, Jeff Hardy was a mess going into Double or Nothing. From what I was told, it was really the Darby Allin match. He's beat up. The one thing, when he went to AEW, you can watch those highlight reels and see how he did some big stunts at his age, and he's paying for it now, Meltzer said with a hat tip to WrestlingNews.com. And then more of a quote, Jeff was having a tough go at that tag team match. Every time they move, it was a painful reminder that this guy is hurting really bad. I'm not reading any more of that article, but Vernon, thoughts before we move on to Double or Nothing?
Yeah, I told you so. And thanks for coming. Jeff Hardy, will see you in the Hall of Fame.
So cheers. We never really spoke about it. When he showed up, I think we did like a quick little blurb. Like I clicked it and was just like, oh yeah, Jeff Hardy's all elite. And we were like moving on. Look, Jeff Hardy came to AEW and immediately went back to like late 90s, late 90s, early 2000s Jeff.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, that young body is no longer there anymore. Dude, I had a match today. I just worked a practice match with one of the trainees just to check out on my foot and be ready for the next few shows that I'm about to do. I took a leaping clothesline from this guy, and he kind of leaped into my body, so it turned me. I went to bump flat. His contact turned me, and I bumped on my shoulder. Right now, my shoulder, you see why I'm doing this, because I'm just opening the rotation of my shoulder. It hurts right now. I'm 30. I'm 38 in 6 months. In 5 months, I'm 38, bro. And I didn't do half the stuff Jeff Hardy's done.
I'm just saying, when we did that tag match and that kid punched me in the head when he didn't know what to do and just went boom bonk, and I was just like, oh, and I was like on the ground, and I was like, yeah, and I was like, holy hell, that hurt.
You doing one of these?
Yeah, I was like, spot. I said, listen, the business has left me behind, because brother, I was like, that kid hit me for days. I was sitting there like, Dad, I got a daggone egg on my head. This kid punched me.
Started training at
think about it. Before, right? You'd get in the match, guys get a little rough, right? Guys, come on.
Yeah.
How funny when you're younger, right? That idea of like, come on, you want guys that chop the hell out of you and such, right? And now it's like, oh,
relax. One. Give me one good one.
Less is more. Less is more. Less is more.
Slow down, kid. Breathe. You know how many times in matches I'll be like, let's breathe. I'm blown up. Let's breathe. Well, no.
That's
Jeff
what I say when I walk out.
Jeff is trying to do late 90s, early 2000s stuff that his 40-some-odd-year-old body cannot take.
But is it Jeff? But is it Jeff? Or is it the fact that Jeff got a fat money contract and knows that the only way he's going to earn said money contract is this what he has to do? That's the only thing that would make sense.
Yes, is the answer to that. Yes.
The only thing that would make sense, because if not, they live on like 100-acre property they own.
They don't need it. They don't need the money. They don't need the money.
That's why if this is a passion project, geesh.
It's the wrong passion. He's 44 years old. Jeff was wrestling for a WWE in 96, 95, 94, bumping for Hall, and he was like 17, 16 years old. So the man, his bump card right now, if it's not full, then it's out the window. It's not in his wallet anymore. Okay, so the first bump I think he took with Darby, when Darby shot like a cannon on that low rope tope, whatever you want to call it, where he just throws himself at you, which is like every move of Darby's. But hey, that's a style, whatever. Then the bump from the ladder to the chairs, like, Jeff, you ain't got to do that no more.
Oh, don't you mean the one where he dove? He took the swanton onto the stairs.
Like, what? You're 44. You're 44, and you've been doing this since you were 17. 27 years. All right, I'm going to be quick, and then we're going right to Double or Nothing. Mick Foley, I saw. I might have mentioned this already at an XWA show in Rhode Island. Okay. All right. I'm gonna depict to you. I'm gonna show you, because I'm gonna back this chair up and show you how he got.
Oh, yeah.
I told you the story. Mick said, "Hey, where's catering?" I said, "Oh, I think it's out in the back. I'll show you." Mick gets up like this. Now, Mick, this is 2015. Okay. Mick's a big guy. This is Mick getting up out of the chair. That is Mick's speed. Yeah. I'll say it. I shit you not.
Yeah.
That is Mick's speed. Mick was killing himself for years. Jeff is going to walk the same and move the same exact way.
You said Jeff is going to walk. You need to say Jeff is going to roll himself from
pushed.
Jeff is going to be pushed from place to place at the rate he's going.
I mean, he's lucky he hasn't had like a big serious injury like an Edge with a broken neck where he couldn't wrestle for a long time. But it's like, dude,
I'm sure he could figure out some medicine that would help get him through the day.
Okay, moving on. Double or Nothing. AEW. Let's talk about it. This has been a big AEW episode, Vern. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah, man. But I'm going to tell you this right now. I read a lot of reviews in the show that said this is the greatest AEW pay-per-view. And I thought the greatest AEW pay-per-view was the last one where Punk fought MJF in the dog collar. And comparing the two of them, I would say this was not the best pay-per-view ever.
I will say this, and I can confirm it. It was the longest wrestling pay-per-view this year.
Oh,
I want to say that not in. I think it almost beat out WrestleMania's both nights.
Yeah,
one night alone.
I watched this show in pieces. I couldn't watch the show in one shot. I had to keep coming back to watch the show.
I sat down at 7. Wait. I was at a party.
Yeah.
I was at a party and I put it on at 7 and put the volume low because I was at a party. Didn't want to be a distraction, and it was just running through. You know what they used to call it back in the free for all.
Yeah, the buy-in.
They call it the buy-in. They call it a buy-in.
So did you see? Oh, so you didn't see it, man. I was really hoping to get your opinion on it.
See what?
I don't know how to. Well, okay, yes, I do. The Eddie Kingston promo. Eddie Kingston cut a promo during the buy-in
with the alcohol.
Yes,
I heard it. I didn't get. I'm sorry. I like Eddie Kingston, but I was just like, it's an Eddie Kingston promo. It's an Eddie Kingston.
So we have the same feeling on Eddie. I am finding myself like when he does it, it's like he goes. It's the same thing, right? It
Can
goes
I do an Eddie Kingston promo for you?
He came out tonight. Yo, dog, I'm here to fight. That's it. Yo, fam, it's on site, yo. And it's like, Eddie, every time you come out, Eddie, you're always ready to fight.
Can I do it? Can I do an Eddie Kingston promo?
Please.
So Eddie Kingston starts off docile, kind of low, like this. And he might pipe up for a second, and he comes back down. He keeps talking, and he talks. Then he starts talking about where he's from, what he's about, his lifestyle, and he picks up in intensity. And then by the finish of the promo, he's screaming at the top of his lungs, and he's pissed off.
And he's got tears in his eyes. He's got the anger tears, and he's trying to.
He's got to hold him back. But he's talking through his teeth.
And he mentions mental health.
Killer Cross.
And he mentions mental health at least once or twice a promo.
Right. And
which cool. It's your thing, whatever. But
Eddie's niche. Eddie's been cutting promos like that, dude, since I've been watching him way back. It's been, hey, it works for you. It works for you. But when I saw him talking, I said it's an Eddie Kingston promo.
But that's just it. It didn't work for me. Even CZW Eddie Kingston did not work for me. I've never been a huge. I get it. There's a realness to his promos. When he talks, you don't get that he's just playing a character. But for me,
right, it feels genuine.
But at the same time, I hate because it makes me cringe. I hate when a guy gets on camera, yo, dog, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell you something, dog. Real quick, dog, I'm about to, because it sounds like we're listening to a skit on a rapper. We're listening to an interlude.
Yeah, I get you.
Where it's just like, oh, okay, I guess I don't mind that on the interlude on my album, but on wrestling, when a dude's like, yo, fam, that's it, yo, saying it's on point. Let me tell you something, partner, from where we come from. You know what I'm saying? My people, right? And he does it, right? He's always doing hand signs, right?
Yeah, what's his joint?
Yo, you know what I'm saying? And he's always throwing, and it's just like, that's what I'm like, all those little things where, okay, he's part of the culture. It's part of, right, the urban culture, but it feels like the just worst versions of that because it just feels so like sticky to me. And that's just me. I agree with you. He does sound legit, but when he gets into yo dog, let me tell you something. It's just like, boss. No, nobody.
Not every time. I see now.
Every time you talk, yo, partner. It's always like, did you just watch an episode of New York Undercover? Because it's like you always show up talking like the homie from New York Undercover, like you just hopped out the Explorer and you're getting ready to do the run up. Like,
so there's levels, right? There's levels to everything in wrestling. There's levels to everything.
But Eddie Kingston is always in New York, 90s,
always
New York,
10. He's
standing on the street corner with the hoodie and a straw in his mouth, chewing the straw in his mouth.
Listen, I got that for you, fam. That's him.
Oh my
Lord. And I think that's one issue. But all right. Let's not.
But that's my problem all throughout AEW. Why do I hate Jon Moxley? It's a one beat promo.
I'm gonna kill you.
Eddie Kingston.
Drink your blood.
Yo, dog. I'm so sad, dog, because of what I'm gonna do to you, dog. That's why I'm crying. Eddie, you've done that promo with Chris Jericho 100 times. You did it with Chris Jericho. Give me the real man. I want to fight. Eddie, every person you get in the ring with, you scream to them you want to fight, Eddie. You never want anything else. Can you want a championship win? Can you want a title? Can you want something? No, I just want to fight, dog.
Yes,
it's a one-beat pony that gets so tiring
after
so
a while.
fast.
It does. All right.
And you don't talk about one-beat ponies. We talk about one-beat ponies. Let's talk about the fact that MJF opening match was amazing, right? But that one beat that you and I talked about for 40 minutes played itself out throughout that match. So when that match was over, MJF was rushed out and immediately taken off, only to cement it's a shoot, because he probably worked it out and said, yo, when the match is done, it's not going to work for me, brother.
I'm out of here.
And it was like they threw on all this stuff to tonight's promo.
No
MJF
brace, nothing, no follow-up.
He got powerbombed 10 times.
And he's back on his feet screaming about money. Ooh, when you put it in that context, ooh.
That's why. And that's all. I go back to that all the time. AW can give you the greatest thing ever, and not 2 segments later, you're just sitting there going,
for one good segment, you're gonna get at least 6 bad ones.
Yeah, but that segment killed with MJF. I wish MJF would have came out limping. I wish he would have came out selling it some way.
In a wheelchair, Sean Spears rolling you out, something.
He just walked out.
But that would have looked too much of a work. That's why. Okay, and I'm gonna play devil's advocate. That makes it look too much of a work. Okay. Obviously, the stretcher job is a work because MJF is here and fine. He's walking. Obviously, it was a work. It's a shoot because he's out here not selling the injuries.
But go back to the stretcher job. His neck. They got out immediately, put a neck brace on him immediately.
He was doing good business, brother.
Sure.
Now he's not, because he wants what he wants, and that was a shoot, brother. I'm just playing devil's advocate. I'm with you on this one.
I hear. Oh no, I do with the shoot, brother. But as we said. Excuse me, not as we said, as Scott Hall said, hey, if it's a shoot, that director must have really been in it, brother, because he shot that perfectly. He kept zooming in and out, and
he found which cameras to cut to. All right. Let's go. Let's quickly
Next,
go
we
through
can move on from that. But let's just say real quick that MJF match, the concept is great. I just want to know what's next for Wardlow. Wardlow had the perfect heel to get him over, but I don't care about getting him over. MJF, that was cheat code. Let's see what's up now. Okay. Now I'm into Wardlow because now let's see. Batista, when Batista got smashed over, everybody loved him. But then they got to the point where we all were like, oh, okay, this Batista thing is kind of corny, kind of fast. So it depends what's next. Because
what's next? Of course. That's always
working with Ric Flair, working with Triple H, working with Shawn Michaels. That's one thing. What do you do when you got to work with Dagon JD Drake and the Workhorsemen?
Okay. All right. I'm going to read the results and then we're going to go back. Okay. All right. So I had a dark match. It was Hookhausen.
Match made me want to kick my foot through the TV screen.
They defeated Tony Nese and Smart Mark Sterling. The aforementioned
Did you see
match.
Did you watch it?
I watched it all. We're going to go back. I'm going to just read through the results.
Go ahead.
Wardlow defeated MJF. The Hardys defeated the Young Bucks. Jade Cargill, Tony cut the shit. Jade Cargill defeated Anna Jay for the TBS championship to retain her TBS championship. Sorry. The House of Black. This one. The House of Black defeated the Death Triangle in a 6-man tag match. Adam Cole defeated Samoa Joe to win the Men's Owen Hart Foundation tournament final. Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, defeated Ruby Soho to win the Women's Owen Hart Foundation tournament final. And they had a very long speech from Martha Hart. We'll cover that. American Top Team, which was Ethan Page. Jeez, I forgot I watched this. Ethan Page, Scorpio Sky, and Paige Van Zant defeated Kazarian, Guevara, and Tay Conti in a 6-person mixed tag match. And because I didn't. When did they make this a stipulation? I must have missed it in all the cluster. Since American Top Team won, Guevara or Kazarian can't challenge for the TNT title. As long as Sky's champion. Okay, whatever. Kyle O'Reilly defeated Darby Allin in a match. Thunder Rosa defeated Serena Deeb for the AEW Women's World Championship. The Jericho Appreciation Society defeated the Blackpool Combat Club, Eddie Kingston, Santana, and Ortiz in the Anarchy in the Arena match. The Jurassic Express, I'm still going, by the way.
Yeah,
I'm still going. The Jurassic Express defeated Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland, a.k.a. Swerve in all glory. And Team Taz of your boy, Powerhouse Hobbs and Ricky Starks by pinfall. The finish was ridiculous in that one. And finally, CM Punk defeated Hangman Page by pinfall. Wake up, Vern. Wake up.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Wake up.
Were you on the new show? I thought, were we still on the same show?
That was one show. So
holy cow.
13
I'm sorry.
matches.
When you started, I dozed off because by the time you got to the end there, I forgot we were still on the daggone same show.
Vern, 13 matches.
I had to watch the show in multiple sittings because I couldn't get through. I'm dead serious. I watched it. I got to like the 3rd match and I legit was like, I was like, okay. Just like I did now, where I'm sitting, you just start nodding off.
As I'm reading the notes.
Yes, because you're like 13 matches. Who in their right mind was like, we got to do 13? Every indie show you've ever been to, you know the indie show that you show up to and it's got 15 matches on the card.
6 hours.
It's booked and the building's booked for 2 hours, but there's 16 matches. The next thing you know, it's a goddamn 6-hour show. And you're like, what the hell?
Dude. Me and my brother.
Okay, wait.
Me and my brother sat here and watched this.
Tangent. Remind me, even off camera or off air, remind me about the Roseland. Talking about guys taking up too much time. Roseland 1. You have to watch Scotty 2 Hotty versus whatever the second match on the card. Scotty 2 Hotty.
In notes.
I would love to hear your thoughts on this.
All right, hold
on. Scotty 2 Hotty hijacks the show.
I love it.
Scotty 2 Hotty hijacks the show, and he says, "Oh, you tell me I got 20? Okay, I'll take 50.
Oh my God. All right.
Okay. Anyway, so yeah, back to AEW.
You watched the entire show, right?
Oh yeah, Double or Nothing.
You watched the entire show.
Yeah, well, at 3 sittings. I had to do it in three sittings because I
don't blame you. I sat and watched it in its
You are
entirety.
a masochist. You and your brother are masochists because I don't know how in the hell people in the arena. I'd have been like, do you get a pillow and a blanket with this show? Because what the hell?
So let me ask you your favorite match of the night. If you had to choose just one.
Opening match.
Wardlow MJF?
It's the only match that probably kept my attention and didn't have me kind of like feel that it overstayed its welcome and it should have been over 10, 20 moves ago.
Okay, you know whose match I actually enjoyed the most? And I didn't want to tell you because I wanted your reaction on camera. My favorite match of the night, and I think Shay agreed with me too. Shout out to Shay. Was Ruby Soho and Britt Baker DMD. I legit watched that match and I was like, yo, these girls are actually not doing too bad. They're going in. It was a well-structured match, right? Britt Baker was 99 everything. I was talking to my brother about that, yo. He's like, yo, what is she doing? I'm like, bro, she's 99 everything. That's what she's doing.
Doesn't register nothing. I love it. I love watching her wrestle.
Doesn't register.
She gets hit and she's just like, okay, and she's up before you.
Right to the next thing.
I love it.
Right to the next thing.
When she got put in, when Ruby put her in the sharpshooter. Okay, can we just talk about the
lack of good sharpshooters I've seen?
But in the women's matches specifically, the women were terrible because even in the Thunder Rosa, Serena Deeb, when did you see Serena Deeb put her in a cloverleaf? And she was legit sitting on her, and her knees were like, she could lick her knees. She was so deep into it. I was like, what is she doing?
What about tonight? Who? No. Was that tonight?
Was it tonight?
Daniel Garcia. But I think it was a part of the. Spot.
But either way, it's
even
like
the girls in the E are slacking doing it. I've seen. I think
but like
Cora
for whatever
Jade
reason,
tried it and it was awful.
But do submission holds? Do you now just sit in the guy's butt and just sit there?
You work
and bend at the knee. Do you not bend at the back anymore?
That's how we train. That's how we train our kids. You just sit on their backs
and just bend their knees and tell them, "Listen, you got to scream in pain while I'm bending your knees." Yeah, it's so weird.
All right, but
shout out to the CA Dub.
I liked it. I thought, you know what's funny? I thought they could have kept going. They did their roll up spot.
The Brett Owen
tribute.
I
thought they could have kept going. In comparison, I thought Thunder Rosa and Serena Deeb went too long. And they're only like a 4-minute difference. Serena and Thunder Rosa was just, oh my Lord.
So I think they were in a tough spot, right? Because what was the match that was before them?
It was Kyle O'Reilly and Darby Allin.
So Kyle O'Reilly and Darby Allin, they put on the wrestling match that was hard hitting and I'll put that in quotes because they went out there right to stiff each other and to throw the knees to the faces and all that crap that they were right up the gap.
It was just a match for a match too for 10 minutes.
It was exactly. It was a match for the sake of none whatsoever. Cold match. But all that was crazy. But they still went out to beat each other up.
Yep.
And so Serena and Thunder Rosa kind of had the same energy, but it fell apart at the beginning when they went, and you could tell they went for the backslide spot where they went for the backslide spot and they didn't get it and they fell. They both fall over. And instead of continuing to tussle and fight like they were, they stood up and then they just kind of helped each other stand back up. And it was just like, I just was like, oh no,
not a good start.
You guys just started cooperating. Because before that, the intensity, they were like roughing each other. They were going back and forth. And at that moment I went, oh, you're cooperating. Yep. And now it lost a step for me. And I was like, oh, these two about to beat on each other. Yeah, they're about to go in. And as you said, it did reach a point where it was like, all right, we could wrap this match up, guys. We don't have to
keep
this long.
I feel like they went so as far as time.
So but you can say the same thing about the Samoa Joe Adam Cole match. Another match just way too long.
I didn't enjoy that match, and I like Samoa Joe. You know, I've liked Samoa Joe for a while. and I've been a fan of Cole.
I've only liked Samoa Joe in Ring of Honor originally and in WWE.
When he got that E-dust sprinkled on him.
That's it. But when Samoa Joe, his whole Impact run
Joe,
where he became a legend, right? I was like, okay, I'm into it for year one, Joe. And then eventually I got so sick of.
What about main event Mafia Joe? You see my M's?
Oh,
all right.
God.
That's a tangent.
Yeah, don't go on that tangent.
So since we're talking about that tournament, let me show you this. You know, we had Britt Baker, the power couple, picked by this lady here. I'm not gonna say. I mean, I said this with Shay before I say that. I don't want to make it seem like that was a legend. That's just a legend. I feel like
the rumor is she had some help picking the chick, which would make sense because why in the hell would you pick? Correct. Why would you pick the boyfriend girlfriend couple? Like watching Adam Cole beat on Samoa Joe was. I might as well have been watching your daughter beat up you. And you sell for her like $1 million. And then her hit, when he hit him with the boom, Excalibur was like, he dropped the bell. And I was like, really, Excalibur?
Like, slow down.
You're going to treat this like Stan Hansen just hit the lariat in the Tokyo Dome? That's what you're going to treat this like right now? He was screaming. And Joe, it just looked silly. Joe, at one point, there was one part where Joe wrestled Cole down and just flipped him over. It looked like a jail scene, just flipped him over, like manheld him and was just like, yo, took him over. And it was like, bruh, chill. And then Joe was stretching him. And then you see him just let Cole go. It
Not a fan.
Ridiculous.
Not a fan of that match. I was hoping it'd be better. But like I said, I like the women's one more. Let me ask you a question, though.
I don't want to be a dick. Should have been Kyle O'Reilly. They should, if they were going to go
Kyle
this
O'Reilly
route,
and Joe.
If they were going to go Adam Cole, they should have made it Kyle O'Reilly because it was preposterous putting Joe. What a way to waste.
Oh, you mean like
Joe.
Adam Cole versus Kyle O'Reilly?
Yes, what a waste.
Right, make it like a bulldog Brett kind of deal.
Correct. But what was the point? It was stupid to put Joe in there.
What's funny is you mentioned that they planted the seed but never watered it. Because Kyle for something like that to happen. Because Kyle cut this heartfelt promo about the tournament. So it's like, okay, Kyle's gonna have a run.
AEW started a story that lasted one segment, and you never, ever, ever bring the story back up again. AEW? No, sir.
Before we move on to the next thing, shout out to Martha Hart's hat. She looks like she's ready for church, bro. She tell me she's not.
Can you go back to the picture real quick?
Yeah. What you got?
How do you feel about the title?
All right, I'll say this. I don't think they should have won belts. I don't think this should have been made.
How silly was that tonight when they both came out tonight on television with belts on their arms, and it was like
trophies.
Y'all are wearing trophies.
Like, this
legit are trophies.
It was one. They said it on TV. They were like, "Oh, those belts will never be defended. They're pretty much trophies." Excalibur said that. He said it on TV.
So they won. So basically, they just won trophies from the fantasy league, and they're wearing the belts from the fantasy league on TV.
So peep this. This should have been a tell that the Coles were going to win this. Okay,
you mean the Bakers.
The Bakers.
Relax, the Bakers.
The DMDs. The
DMDs. Relax. Cole will never be bigger than Baker.
Can you show me how many trophies are back there? Can you tell me how many trophies are back there?
Can we just say what happened to that trophy?
Oh, it's in the Baker's household now. You know it is.
I know, but I'm saying, but did they hold the trophy up? So I fast forwarded this whole part. Once I saw that part, I just fast forwarded.
This is the go home to that segment.
Oh, shut up. They don't even mention that trophy back there?
Martha comes out, unveils the belts, gives one to Cole.
Look, I saw that, but I didn't bother with the speech. I just kept fast forwarding. I was like, I don't care.
Bro, the trophy just stays there. Why do you have the belts? Put all of that dressing
because wrestling, brother, who doesn't want a belt in wrestling?
Merch pushing.
It's stupid.
I'm sure to be there.
Whatever.
I'm sure to be there. All right, so let's talk about your home girl.
Nonsensical.
Vern, cut the shit. All right. Jade Cargill defeated Anna Jay for the TBS. to retain her TBS title. But that's not what mattered, Vern. That's not what mattered.
That's not what mattered at all.
Was that we had two debuts in one 10-minute segment, sir. We saw Athena arrive, and we saw the man we spoke about not too long ago, Malcolm Bivens, a.k.a. Stokely Hathaway, television. Vern, we were singing this man's praises. You was upset. You was upset. You was done. You wasn't feeling too right about wrestling.
You walked away on your own terms. You walked away on your
Right.
own terms because creative wasn't there for you. You know, you just lost passion for you lost your smile. That's it. He's the last cat that I get to say lost my smile and lost my passion. Now he lost my passion. So you know what? Buckle up, bucko. You got paid for it. You lost your passion. Go get a hobby. It's a job. Because I'm just I'm not gonna lie to you. This one pissed me off.
Because the promo, that stand-up bit we saw where he was like, I just was not feeling this and all that.
It's so corny. It's
right.
Like,
don't lie. You thought the grass is greener, and
on the other side.
You wanted to see what was up. You wanted to see what was up, and you knew your contract was up. So instead of waiting the 90 days, you said, I'm gonna sit it out. Let's be honest. That's the truth. I'm gonna sit it out. I'm gonna see what's up on the other side.
But for what? For what?
To be
publicist. He came out there and said, "I'm her publicist."
Because now look at this: is Smart Mark Sterling still her manager? Right? He still comes out with her, right?
No, because he manages like 97 people. He's the only manager on their roster.
Yeah, he's a worker.
So Stokely Hathaway, I'm sorry, man. I'm good, Five. Like
I love Stokely. He's so good.
He's so fun. His Twitter game is unmatched. He's funny as hell.
He's hilarious.
But that's corny though, Five. This was sus. This is sus.
They didn't sit right. When I saw him,
man.
I was sitting here. The TV's right here, the angle I'm looking. I was like, is that Stokely Hathaway?
Look at you watching TV like a wrestler.
What do you mean?
At an angle. At an angle.
Oh, like a real wrestler.
As a wrestler, you're like, oh,
well, if that was the case, the TV'd be like right
behind
here,
you. Yeah, behind you.
Looking at it like this. So now I was looking and I'm just like, what was all that he was talking in the stand?
It's almost like disappointed, right? Like,
right.
It's like the Tony Storm, right? Why did I go off on Tony Storm? Not even. Right. Actually, I gave Tony Storm the pass.
You gave her the pass.
The pass because
she said it was too big. It was too big.
My dreams were too big. My dreams were too hard. The Fed, I can't handle it.
Because think about it. He said, "Did I get mentioned about going up to the main roster?" Yes.
Yes. Did they? The writers show me? Yes, but creative. I didn't. I just didn't have the passion anymore. I didn't have the passion for creative anymore.
Because they switched up NXT. They were still making you prominent. You had a stable. You were getting talks of being called up, but you weren't feeling anymore. You wanted lesser dates for some good money. You wanted to rob the bank. Hey, you wanted to rob the bank? More power to you, bro. But don't swerve us. Don't swerve us. Don't swerve us. That's all. Don't swerve in our glory, brother.
Exactly.
Like, come on, dude.
Give us a Tony Storm. Just tell the truth, yo.
Right.
I want to work less dates.
I can't
travel. Yeah, Tony Storm kept it 100. I couldn't travel that much.
I couldn't. To be honest, I bet that was it. Because NXT 2.0, you stay in Florida, right?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Malcolm Bivens. You're now gonna have to come on the road. You're gonna be on house shows. We're gonna pair you with the heel. You're going to have to do all this travel now. And he said, travel? I'll think about it. Let the contract expire. Tony, my contract's up. Come on in. Come on in.
I mean,
it just.
But just end the spot. But end the spot. Why'd you come in with Jade though?
Why Jade? Jade don't need it. Jade's got the heel. Jade's got her heel manager. She's got her heaters. What more does she need?
But here's the part that I struggle. Jade got charisma dripping out her butt cheeks.
Jade is a baby. She's a baby face, in all honesty.
She could be a great baby face.
Yeah, she will be if they get it right. Let me say that.
But
if they get it right.
Because her I'm the hot girl doing hot things
with
the
my
hot
baddies.
Club. Yeah, with the baddies. This whole thing has a shelf life, as Nicki Minaj, as all these other girls, right? Megan Thee Stallion.
It screams IG model. Yeah, it screams IG.
It has its because, like, let's be honest, Kiera Hogan reinvented herself. Kiera Hogan and what's her
Red
name?
Velvet.
Red Velvet. They reinvented themselves. They got a new lease on their careers by becoming Instagram models, which
by being heaters.
To each your own. They became heaters.
You're on TV every
They became
week
heaters
now.
to shake their butts and wear tight outfits. Good for them.
You're on TV
Good
every
for
week.
them.
Screw it. You're showing up to TV, not having to bump, and you're on TV every week.
So
hey, more power to you.
That's great, but does this get like we talked about even with MJF? Where does this go?
Oh,
where does the baddies go? Where does any of this go? Because they keep building her up, right? Jade's built up as this monster heel, but like you said, she's getting over to where she's a heel, but she still gets face reactions sometimes.
The whole undefeated thing, it's not helping her as a heel.
Yeah, because every time she comes out, she's smiles and you're just like, yeah, you ready?
Saw her come out. I don't know what she had on, the fire fit, all tight in the heels. Tony, saying her thing. I'm you this and that, but I'm that B.
Then after she was done with the match, you always see her go over, shakes her baby's hand, says hi to her husband and her baby in the front row.
Face. Remember them articles we was reading? I wish I brought
pieces,
them up.
The pieces on her that were done.
Yeah, Tribune, and then the thing from Bleacher, I think, or
correct.
Bleacher
They're
Report.
Inspirational stories about this woman who struggled and made it and made her own,
humanizing her.
You don't look at that and go, "Yo, this."
I don't like her.
Exactly.
I don't want to hate Jade Cargill anymore.
Correct.
I don't want to hate her after I read those articles.
Yes, because Jade's got personality and a hell of a story.
Right. You know what I'm saying? It was a girl that hooped forever and then fell out of love with hoops. So now she took up professional wrestling. People looked at her funny, which everybody can relate to. Everybody was a social outcast way back for being a wrestling fan. So she had that similar story. So now it's like, damn, Jade, I kind of like you now. I don't want to hate you no more. She's not a heel. She's not a heel. And when they realize that, and whoever puts it together, hopefully they figure it out. But let's move on. We're pencils waving. I think we're going over on time tonight.
We'll go over on time.
We're gonna go over time.
Yeah, that's fine.
Let me see here. I'm looking at my things here. I don't know if I want to go right into that yet. Let's talk about. I'm jumping around here. We spoke about the Hardys, House of Black and the Death Triangle match. What did you think about that? Real quick.
It was indie garbage level. It was an indie match. Yeah, I'm gonna say indie garbage because it had its moments, but and that's just such a simplistic thing to say. I'll flesh out my statement with being it was a super indie match with spots,
and more spots,
and just more spots, and then an ending that happened out of nowhere.
So,
and Julia Hart. Wait.
That's what I was about to say. Yeah,
that was the huge moment. Was the culmination of this
of a long-term storytelling. Julia Hart got missed on what date? Can you tell me? Can you tell me when she got missed in her face?
I can tell you. No, first of all, you liar. She got missed on her chin. She didn't get missed on her face.
Oh, I thought I looked up something that I wasn't supposed to be looking up when I looked up Julia Hart, and that's her shoot name. Good for her. Let's say she made her debut on Dark on May 20. She's only been with the company a year.
Yep.
May 11th, aligned herself with the Varsity Blondes. Hard return to the ring, beach break, Jade Cargill. It doesn't even mention it. It doesn't even mention it.
All I know is that horror show match, the dude started out with all the masks and all that, for her to end it, and they all had on the face paint. Gosh, talk about how silly. That was another thing I didn't like, when they were all wearing.
You didn't like that look?
All the paint on their faces.
You didn't like that look.
You know, when the God did it, made sense to me. These dudes do it. It's just a bunch of horror fans pretending to be doing dress up. But sure, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I just watched The Mist back just now. So apparently I just want to make sure I got the date right. I'm doubling back. It happened in December. This shows December 11th, so it must have happened December 8th.
Uh-huh.
Wow. When you're telling me she took the mist, she literally took the mist of the mist.
Yes,
like
she didn't get any of it.
It was like Malachi like shot the like the water bottle to make your face wet, and it's like and she went and
no.
So
she went fell to the ground on her knees, screaming like it just poured acid into her face, and was going
shout out to her. Shout out to her. She did her job.
With Pillman going, get help for my sister, get help, with screaming his face off, looking like an idiot. Yeah.
6 months. 6 months with subtle pieces. All right, I had an epiphany, and I forgot about it, and it just reminded me.
Okay.
We talked about wrestling being a comic book, right? Wrestling's a comic book. Everybody's got their own version, their own universe, stuff like that. AEW is a anthology series. I just figured it out.
How so?
Okay, you've watched a lot of AEW, right? How many stops and starts, different characters that somehow, maybe in some cases, tie together, but sometimes they don't have any relation at all to each other, have you seen in your 2 to 3 years of watching this?
Of characters that have that all the time that they're tied
together. That's an anthology series.
And I mean, if we're being honest, every tag team and AEW, every Dante Martin has.
Oh my God!
Tonight we saw Dante Martin tonight.
He's blocking everything.
But Daniel Garcia, before Daniel Garcia became a member of the JAS, him in 2.0, every segment they were in every other segment.
Right. Okay. So anthology series.
Yeah.
He just he'll throw a story. If it sticks, sure. If it doesn't, we'll figure it out later. And if we do, that happened in December.
Good idea. Yeah.
They've showed Julia Hart maybe. I've seen her 4 times, I think, on Dynamite since that.
Crushing dark, though. Crushing
dark.
Oh,
I'm sure of it. Because, it's a sellout every time. If the ratings must be at a sky-high rate for dark. But no, now that the culmination of her story since back in December has come to fruition, sir. She is a member of the House of Black. She has an all black and gray eye. I'm surprised. I kind of dig the makeup. It was cool. It was kind of like a uniform for them. They all had the uniform look. I just don't like the fact it was pretty much the House of Black versus the House of Black. They look like they should all be together, in all honesty. I don't know. It's just odd to me, but whatever. Moving on. I don't want to talk about American Top Team and that 6-man or 6-person.
Match was embarrassing. The Paige Van Zandt worked. You could tell it was her first match. I had fun watching her work. I was laughing because it was like every time she hit a move. What was Paige Van Zandt's favorite move that whole match? What was her favorite move?
I can't even remember. What was
ready? I'll do it for you. every time she did a move,
she wanted the people to hype her up. I forgot about that.
I'm not even kidding with you. She threw a punch.
So
body slam, Irish whip. Rewatch it. I'm not even kidding. The second she gets in the ring, every other move she did was she just called for and I was like watching, going,
"What is she
doing?" She's now done this 100 times now. Like now it's just getting weird. Like it's like, does she not know you don't have to keep doing that, or did someone tell her you gotta signal the fans?
That was her nervous tick. I bet that was. Her
Well, she was super nervous.
Some people have their leg shake. That was her nervous tick. So, in comparison, Ronda Rousey, when she was with Kurt Angle and she worked Triple H and Stephanie, knocked it out the park.
Yeah.
I saw that, I was impressed.
They protected her. Paige Van
Zandt had no protection.
They exposed her.
She has no ideal of psychology yet, or at all, or ever.
Or how to sell.
She doesn't know how to sell. She just knows how to do moves. So if that's the case, they should have just showcased her with a couple moves, got her out of there. She was in there for way too long, doing way too much. And yeah, for that match took a hit. But that whole story from the beginning, you and me, ladder match, bitch.
And if we win, we want a mixed tag match, bitch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. From there.
Remember, it was like with Paige Van Zandt. Okay. And then when they shoehorned Frankie Kazarian to make it a 6-man, it was just like, what does Frankie Kazarian have? And then him and Sammy were fighting each other in the match. It was like storyline wise, what? Why would he even agree to be in the match to begin with? What? Yeah, it was.
What was your favorite part? Tay Conti coming out as Maleficent?
No, my favorite part was when they first wrestled and Paige Van Zandt gave her a suplex and almost dumped her on her skull. What?
My wife was talking to me. I could hear her through the phone. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, where Paige Van Zandt basically dumped what's her face Conti on her head, and then Ty Conti came back with the headlock takeover, but like this chick Paige Van Zandt didn't go over for it, and so you just saw her shoot, grabbed her, hit her with that hip through that hip action in there, and just said whoop and gave her the flip, and I said, damn. Tay had some good. So that was my favorite part, was just watching Tay do that one shoot move. But beyond that, Tay Conti sold zero. She sold zero on purpose, and I loved it.
The match was poop. All right, so let's get to the last 3 matches of the night. Let's quickly talk about this because this was the second longest match of the night, and for what reason, I have no clue. Jericho Appreciation Society and the Blackpool Combat Club in an Anarchy in the Arena match for 22 minutes. I'm going to tell you, Vern, I stopped watching at that point. I turned on the Celtics and the Heat because I wanted to see who was going to go to the NBA Finals. Celtics had a lead. There was like 3 minutes left in the game. My brother was just like, yo, put the Celtics on real quick. Like he was like, this match is pointless. And he doesn't even watch AEW. And I was like, you know what? You're right. Click. And I would flip back and forth whenever the Celtics were on commercial. And every time I came back, it was like, okay, they're scattered across the arena. Okay, this guy's bleeding. Okay, this guy's bleeding. Okay, they're nowhere near each other. I don't even think I saw the finish. It didn't matter.
They broke the turnbuckle pads and they used they got the top rope came off. And they used the rope to choke out Danielson, and Danielson got choked out with the rope. That's the finish.
I didn't realize that was the finish. So they necktied him?
Yeah, necktied him with it, choked it up, and passed out.
So I'm not even going to try to make sense of it. Say your piece. I'm done.
I hated it. I just didn't. I get why they do this, because they want to have the one big garbage plunder match. That, you know, it's kind of like that. Like that. I see. Like they kind of have that New Japan style mixed with plunders kind of thing, right? It's like that New Japan mixed with weapons.
Stop! Don't you Joey Janela this? Stop! You stop right now.
I was offering a fresh take on
that
my
New Japan flow with that outlaw bullshit. Is that what you were trying to say?
You know, but it's a New Japan flow, but with doors and chairs.
I'm muting him. He's muted until he's done talking about Joey Janela and all that. He just keeps talking. He keeps going. I'm not going to unmute him until he stops. Are you going to stop?
As he gets the fire going, he makes it.
You're still talking about Joey Janela. Can you stop talking about Joey Janela?
Well, I'm talking about the daggone match. I moved on from Joey Janela. I was just trying to daggone.
I muted you the entire time.
I understand. I saw my mute, but I just kept cutting a promo because I figured, well, we'd come back eventually.
Okay,
anyway,
say what you were saying, please. And
point of it being, all kidding aside, it was. I guess I understand what the match should have been. It was supposed to be that match in the car, the big car crash match, but you can't have a car crash match just because you added weapons. There were already other car crash matches before this one match. This just added weapons and an inordinate amount of blood, like Zona 23 death match types of blood.
I'm glad you brought them up. Shout out to Zona 23 putting on those junkyard matches.
Yo, as I told you, Zona 23 makes me wonder because they have a ring, they have 4K quality cameras, and it's being shot in a junkyard and guys wrestling in dirt. But it's shot on 4K cameras. The
cartel is holding that.
Explain it to me. It is shot in 4K. Don't come for us. But it is shot in 4K, and there's literally dudes who they're just wrestling on the dirt, and they're just like they're legit just like holding each other. And they're just like gig.
I saw a dude get hit with a car door. It was ridiculous. And then a dude fall into the barbed wire like guardrail, and then forget it was barbed wire and go hilarious.
That's Zona 23. Anyway,
shout out to Zona 23. But no,
there
this match
the
was
amount
just
of
so
blood,
dumb.
and then the visual. People talked about Eddie Kingston had blood. He was covered like a ghoul from head to toe, and he came out with the lighter, the gasoline, and he was pouring the gasoline, and he was going to get the lighter. And then it was this whole story, and it was, oh my God, the drama. I was so like, are you kidding me? Just end the match.
The fact that it went 22 minutes is crazy. 22 minutes.
You had 10 men. It's a 10 members, a 10-man match.
Okay.
I hear you, but you had a 10-man match with 10 guys who fighting all over the building.
Okay. All right. So you put it here. You put that match after the Britt Baker match. Okay. Put it there. Put it after the Britt Baker.
After all that wrestling.
Okay, so put Britt Baker, then do that Serena Deeb match. Okay? You put it there. Move Kyle to right before the tag match and put American Top Team where you had Thunder Rosa and Serena Deeb. You get what I'm saying? So instead of 11, it was match 11, make it 8. Yeah. Take 10, make it 9, make 9, 10, and then 8, 11. So quick swaps. Okay. So just to Jesus, because that Martha Hart thing took forever. Okay, not like it's a bad thing. It just took forever. She had a long speech, trophy, belt. Took a long time. That's what he wanted anyway, right? Whatever. Okay,
that's what who wanted.
Tony said that he wanted a long.
Okay.
He wanted a long show because of the NBA Finals.
I thought you said Tony wanted her to do that long speech and all that. I was like, really?
He was probably like, she's going forever, but that works for us because the NBA Finals is still on. Dude probably had the NBA Finals on in the back. I'm sure of it because he literally went ridiculous. But yeah, I would have done that. That was just like, okay, now I've got to sit here and watch a 3-way tag team match, and it's like, okay, didn't want to watch that either. But yeah, swerving our glory.
Don't care.
No, me neither. Moving on.
Can I tell you, that was a problem with so many of these matches, right? Like when I got to the match, and I'm just like, yeah, I don't actually care who wins this or loses. That swerve, the tag titles, didn't care.
Let's look at this. Let's look at this. All of these matches, save for Kyle O'Reilly and Darby Allin, had a story on Dynamite.
Or BTE, but yeah. The A show, but yeah.
I've seen all of these stories unfold on Dynamite. Even the pre-show match. Rampage a lot more. I'll give him that. Wardlow and MJF. Featured story on Dynamite. Hardys and the Young Bucks, quick. They just brought it up out of nowhere.
Hello, bro. If you watch BTE, you would know that again. That's the A show. Yeah, mute me because I'm telling the truth.
Okay.
Hey.
Okay.
You want to be a fan? Watch the shows. All right. Have a level of commitment. Have some self-respect. All right. Have some self-respect. Watch that BTE. Better than expected.
Oh God. God, that can't be that. That stands for
no. BTE, better than expected. Is
I know it's being the elite.
Well, BTE is what everyone says downstairs on Thursdays after the ratings come out for Wednesday. Everyone always says
you need to leave the basement. I am in a literal basement right now. I am in a literal basement in my man cave.
I know,
you're making me want to leave.
That's where I go for the good hot takes, man.
You're making
where else
me
do I get the
leave
insane
my
hot
own
takes?
Basement talking about.
I know, but where else do I get someone say something like that MJF
match? You
feel
like a kid again?
Yeah, makes me feel like a kid again. Oh man, when Julia Hart turned, I really felt like a kid again. Yes. Okay. Where else can I get those hot takes? Or my favorite one. So I was sitting at a restaurant. And the waitress happened to hear my ringtone, and she said, "Hey, is that Chris Jericho?" And then I was like, "Yeah, are you an AEW fan?" And I said, "Yeah, I am." And me and my girlfriend, who totally looks like Paige, was like, "Yeah, we are." And the waitress was like, "You guys are
Paige."
Yeah, Divas Champ era Paige. And then the waitress was like, "Oh yeah, well, you guys are my favorite table now because you guys are AEW fans." That was literally a post I read in the basement.
I think you said that to me.
The comments of people underneath were like, "Oh my God, man, it's so cool. Wow.
What a genuine moment. Glad you found one in the wild."
AEW's really mainstream. Look at that. Wow.
Yeah.
At a random Denny's.
But what's WWE doing? You know, just having a whole country and their government talk about if bringing them over is good for the company. I mean, the country's financials. That's what I'm trying to say. You know, no big deal.
But that's why I go to the basement, because I have to do that, or read when Rhodes Scholars write a 4-page essay about why Ricky Starks is not a Rock ripoff, but is really innovative and has nuanced the Rock thing. And LA Knight, that was a slave name, would learn a thing or two about.
Sure. First of all, it's no longer LA Knight.
Oh, I'm sorry. What did he change his name to? What?
Max Dupree.
There we go. Max Dupree.
I don't like
That's a slave name, but that's a slave name. Relax. That's a slave name. All right.
Eli Drake. Yeah. Yeah.
Eli
dummy.
Drake. Yeah.
Dummy. Yeah.
So in the basement, I got to read a block wall of text about how what's his face? Ricky Starks innovates that type of talking where you kind of have that inflection and you say something kind of like that. And let me tell you, you grimace looking fatty, you know, when you got jokes like that and you do that inflection where you for some reason talk and put a period after every word.
The William Shatner had dots everywhere.
I guess, but like, right, that Rock cadence. But it's like this whole thing to do is like, look, it's not like The Rock, where The Rock would make fun of people. When he came out and said that Keith Lee looked like the dinosaur from T-Rex, the Rex from Toy Story.
Yeah.
That was
because his voice.
Guess what?
Tremendous news.
That was a much better burn than being like Poontang Pie and Smack. See, think about it. He's innovating. And he's doing it in a way that The Rock, I kid you not.
The Rock could never. Bro. Okay, no. I do not want to hear about the basement anymore.
But when you get to the end, right? When you get to the end, you're like, people really are buying this? And then in the comments, people are like,
real?
Oh my God, wow, I can't believe you're so right. Oh my goodness, I never thought about that. He is our modern, and it's just like, what just happened? What just happened?
Can I tell you something?
Shoot.
The amount of times you'll send me something and I'm just like this, scrolling, and I start reading the comments and I just go.
And the comments are insane.
I just drop my phone and then go do something else because I'm just like, I don't want to read it. All right. Speaking of the basement, they loved the main event. Okay. Main event was everything and what they asked for and more. Better than expected. BTE, brother. CM Punk. Slap the porpoise.
Fingered everything.
Slap the porpoise, brother. This match was a knockdown, drag out fight. CM Punk defeated Hangman Page. I wanted to get you this photo. Bam. How you feel about that?
That's exactly how I feel about it. That's a face I'm making right now, noticing that
CM Punk.
That this 43-year-old man who bagged on Batista for doing the same thing at 44. But I digress.
Coming in winning the title. There he is, y'all. CM Punk, your AEW World Heavyweight Champion. He celebrated in the only fashion that he can with his boys, FTR, to bring them out and hoist them into the air like someone we know. If you're listening to this on the audio, I just showed CM Punk on the verge of tears after winning his
on the
title.
verge. Yes, that's what he's doing. He's on the verge of trying to force one out, on the verge of tears.
Hold on, I could probably do that.
Exactly. You're not emoting. You're just sitting there making a face.
I could do that. Let me think of something sad. Ooh. Wait a minute.
God.
I think I almost had something there.
Yeah.
A tear duct opened up. But yeah, and then I'm showing a picture of
and then FTR
holding
wearing
no,
right.
No,
wearing
you go ahead.
A white t-shirt that has a caricature of Bret Hart that says Bret Hart's 3 sons. And it's a picture of FTR
and Punk.
Hair, bald, and CM Punk.
Hair and bald.
Bret Hart's 3 sons.
With the pink joggers to match
pink
the tee.
Joggers to match the tee.
Shout out my man Dax. That's Dax, ain't it?
Shout out to Bald.
Yep. Just like, and I was saying, just like when Lex Luger and Scott Hall hoisted up
Bret Hart
Bret the
after
Hitman
he won
Hart,
the belt at
everyone.
WrestleMania.
Yeah.
God,
Hey, it's the same thing, bro.
Whatever.
It's the same thing, if not better. I mean, A-Dub, Dub good, fed bad. What did you think of the match, Vern? And let's talk about this quick. Let's go more than
just
another
look,
3 minutes.
I'll just say this. Look,
we've been running long.
The match was what it was. It was the best thing they could have pulled out of it. The promo leading up to it was weird and insane. The promo that they did in ring, remember the in ring promo they did the Wednesday before on the Go Home show, made no sense whatsoever. This match, face or heel, the only outcome could have been CM Punk. It was the only outcome that made any sense. Adam Page, I'm sorry, Adam Page was nothing. He was.
Didn't we have this conversation where I said it's CM Punk, and you were just like, "What? You think they're gonna?" I mean, I'm sure you were trolling. Where like, you think they're gonna take the belt off of him? And I'm like, yeah, of course. CM Punk's gonna work whoever they want to work at New Japan.
I said, are you crazy? They're gonna take the belt off this young kid? Yeah. Because there was never a chance in hell they weren't going to take the belt off of him, because Adam Page has been a joke. What has Adam Page been? Man, go back to this last Wednesday, the promo he did with CM Punk. Have you seen it? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't remember it now, but I believe I saw it.
With him and Shivani.
I think I watched portion
where
of it.
Shivani where Shivani did the promo, and the promo was going meh until Hangman grabs the microphone, and then the promo goes nowhere fast, and he yells and he screams, and when the promo finishes, Punk kind of goes, I don't know what all that was about, but let's have a match. Like, it was just like, what the hell was that? So Adam Page doesn't.
I know what that was. Sorry, I know what that was. That's a lack of direction. That's what that's called.
Yeah, man.
Okay, what are you about to say, Adam Page?
Yeah, no, just that. That's it. You hit it on the head. Adam Page, lack of direction. CM Punk won. The match had a couple of stuff that made the match look,
wonky spots.
Him trying to do the buckshot lariat.
Buckshot. That's
the buckshot, and he slipped and whatever. And there's
numerous kickouts and stuff like that.
kickouts. And I just whatever. When he won. I think my joy was just the pay-per-view's over. I'll never have to watch this thing again. So go CM Punk.
Let me tell you, when that show went off the air, it was about 12:30 something.
Yeah, it was almost 1 o'clock.
So they ran a UFC pay-per-view in wrestling format with more matches than what you would. Actually, no, I think it's probably about the same amount of matches if you were to start at the prelims.
Okay.
For UFC. Prelims normally start at 8. They run till 10. Then you have your main card. Prelims usually have about 5 to 7 matches.
Yeah.
Or fights. And then there's still matches. And the main card has like
Dana White have his list of words you can't say?
I don't think he calls them matches. I think he calls them fights. Yeah. Now that I think about it, I think Dana never calls them matches.
We got to hit up Del. Be like, yo, Del, we got an MMA question.
Right. Del and Shay will know, right? They'll know. Hey, you know what? He hasn't called it a match since 2008. I'm like, how do you know that?
Exactly.
But all right, man, let's wrap this thing up.
Let's wrap it up, because honestly, we could look in 2 weeks. What I do want to revisit this in 2 weeks. I want to see 2 weeks from now, what's the impact of CM Punk being the champ, because I think we got to have some movement with it. Him and Wardlow are probably the two things I'm most interested in right now.
Right.
What happens to them? Because these next 2 weeks are going to be crucial for Wardlow. If Wardlow craps the bed, then this was a failed experiment and they just wasted the golden goose.
Right.
Or, hey, man, we're off to the races.
So the next pay-per-view is this
Forbidden Door. We're going to get into Forbidden Door.
Forbidden Door is June 26th for AEW. Yeah. But WWE has Money in the Bank June. I'm sorry. I should know these things because I'm supposed to be a broadcast journalist. Oh, sorry. That's a E-drone.
Correct.
Terminology. I'm supposed to be a wrestling journalist. Oh, come on. 2022 is June what? Help me out here, Vern.
I'm sorry?
Jesus. Oh, that's July. I'm sorry. Hell in a Cell. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's not Money in the Bank. It's Hell in a Cell. I'm sorry. Hell in a Cell is in how many weeks?
I think it's like 3 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks.
2 or 3 weeks? You sure?
No.
We're awful. Hell in a Cell's this Sunday.
Oh, Christ. Oh, boy.
Hell in a Cell's this Sunday at the Allstate Arena in Illinois. Whoops. But yeah, they're running that, and then we've got Forbidden Door. So the next time we're on, we can talk about Hell in a Cell. We're going to talk about Hell in a Cell. Hey, we can always follow up, though. We'll bring it up just to see in 2 weeks from now what AEW has done in 2 weeks of television. I would love to go back and be like, what have they done with Wardlow? What have they done with Punk?
Yeah.
And also, what are they doing with Jade Cargill? That's also. We'll see what they do.
And what happens in this MJF saga? Do they give us another layer of the story that's going to make me go, God, we don't want to hear about it?
We'll see.
Until then.
All right.
Yo.
4. Touch my tip, sir. Wrong way. 4. Vernon. You ain't going to touch it? Get closer. There you go. 4. Vernon Somoza.
Frank Champion.
He is. I'm gonna try it again now. He is him, I am me, and we are them. This is the Pay Window Podcast on the Sandbox Podcast Network.
Everybody,
say peace, Vern.
Peace, Vern.
All right, we finally got it right this time. I'm hyped. We got it.